Welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. We've just come from an awesome game with the brand new Orks Codex versus the Custodes, so if you haven't seen that, turn back now. Viewers beware, there's going to be a ton of spoilers about this amazing game we just played that was won by a single point.
It was. What a
so good.
Close game.
Right?
And do you remember the days of boys just being legitimately worthless against Custodes?
Yeah.
Where they could do absolutely nothing.
Yep.
If you brought a boys list, you had no chance of even scoring like half of what I score.
Yeah.
Those days are gone.
They're gone.
T5 and AP1 make a big difference.
It was great, and I think no moment was more apparent than the last turn, where I kind of had just extra stuff kind of thrown at you, and it did it. It killed all but one of the Venatari, you know.
Yeah,
and that
was a crazy
never
turn.
happened
Yeah,
before. I feel like, oh, we're done.
You would bounce.
But
Off
give me
top
a shot.
5 to up save.
Yeah.
Boys would do nothing. No number of boys would kill even one custodian guard.
Yeah.
In 8th edition.
We are having. Do you guys have mics on?
Oh. You know what? I was muted.
I was also muted.
We went to the bathroom. Welcome.
Welcome back to the. Here, I'll let you sit down.
All right.
Sorry, guys. Welcome back. It was such a good intro. It was like snap, 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 snap. Hi, guys. Can you hear us now? Let us know.
No. Yeah, that should be much better.
Can we just delete the stream and start again? Anyways, welcome back to The Good Talk, our post-game recap and Q&A show where we discuss the game that we just played and answer all your burning questions, both Warhammer and otherwise. Now, before we actually discuss things when you guys can hear us, if you haven't watched the game, go back, turn away. We're going to spoil the heckins out of this.
Spoil the whole game.
We were just discussing the 1-point victory. Amazing close game between the Custodes and the Orks.
This is the best Orc Custody game I've ever had.
Me too.
Yeah,
The fact
right?
that
This
boys
is like
are
the
relevant
closest.
is like such a big deal.
Yeah, so big. The extra AP is great. We got to see Goffs do stuff. We also got to see the Shadowkeepers do counterplay.
Dude, the Strength 5 from Goffs is amazing.
It's a big deal because before you had to be like, okay, I'm going to spend a command point. It's going to have to be on a specific unit. How many do you actually do? It's so meta dependent. In the 9th edition, you'd have to put it on your list.
Right.
So it was extra not good, and now it just works.
Just everything everywhere all the time.
Yeah.
Strength 5 is so much better than Strength 4 always.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's a big deal.
It's only the same against T3.
Yeah, exactly. So between the T5 and the Strength 5, pretty big deal. It's funny, they still died to a stiff breeze in shooting, but in melee, it was never given.
This was a weird list for T5 shoot-wise, because I had all this Strength 6 that, like, how much Strength 6 is there in the game?
That was all of it.
I found all of it. I had all the Strength 6.
Right.
I gathered it up, not intentionally. Like, I was, before we even played this game, I was like, hey, Adrian, I'm going to Charity Hammer, and, like, it would be cool if I played Custodes. Can I just play my Charity Hammer list?
Yeah,
like, I need practice. And you were like, yeah, sure, I'll play a bunch of boys. And I was like, that's a great idea. Like, boys used to just get smashed by Custodes. I want to see, do they not get smashed by Custodes anymore?
Exactly.
And they don't get smashed by Custodes.
No, they don't.
Fight back.
You know what I think is super interesting also is there's been a lot of conversation about what does the pseudo-transhuman actually help you against?
Yeah.
And we weren't playing a snake bites list,
Sure.
but like
You see it though.
This.
snake bites would have been amazing.
Oh
in
my
this
gosh,
game.
it would have been so
I mean,
good.
Goffs were amazing also.
Yeah, of course.
But like this snake bites like would have been super relevant
There's
here.
that, there's the Ramshackle, like it's such a easy thing to miss. You know, they look at it like, whatever. Like, it doesn't work against Dark Lances and Last Cannon, so I don't care. And you're like, no, that's a lot of the games played in this other kind of band.
Yeah.
And it's so good. There were a couple key moments. One, of course, was the charge. Literally, the more I think about it,
That's changed like the whole
if I had made the charge,
Yeah.
or even that last combat was so big, if I had gone the Stranglehold,
Yeah.
and that was the meticulous, I'm kind of talking about three things at once. So let's first off talk about that last turn.
Yep.
Where I didn't get the Stranglehold. And we talked about how meticulous you want to charge and pile in and things like that. And getting, 1-2 more bodies in.
One more body.
It would have literally been the game. But you had kind of blocked me off in a way that I couldn't get in at the right time with the right bodies. And you had Trajan on one side, so I couldn't get too close. And you targeted exactly the right unit. You said, I'm going to go for the unit that has more
Where every model I kill, it matters.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that was it. That was literally, that call was the game-winning move right there. That
Even
pushed
just
it
like
over.
deciding to consolidate the Venatari the turn before.
Yes.
In my turn, I
Yes.
charged the Venatari kind of as a meme, and you were like, "You've learned nothing," because I did a
Right.
dumb thing. I
No.
charged like something that was farther away than I needed to charge.
Yeah.
And then I had that extra distance and just consolidated up.
Yeah, and you made a wall.
And I just built a
of these-
wall.
Yep.
And I was
Yeah.
like,
It was so good.
"It's mine."
They're not good at fighting, but they are T5 2+ save bodies
Yeah.
that
Exactly.
are hard to fight through.
Yeah, it was so cool. It was so good. So all these tiny decisions mattered, and I think it's easy with these games to kind of rule things out. It's like, oh, look at the points, spread. Like Goster just destroying it, but look at that second half of the game. It's so important.
Yep.
Now I think we got to see a lot of things on both sides perform well. But do you think there's one thing that you would give MVP for this game? Something that performed above average,
Oh, well,
or like was significant? You could have rolled horribly, but they're in the right spot.
Venatari always overperform, but it's such a boring answer. Something that I think really shined this game was Sagittarum in a very subtle way. Sagittarum were a relatively cheap, within the codex, unit to put on a backfield objective, like 150 something points.
Yep.
But they did something. Normally I would take Custodian Guard with Sword and Shield,
And they're
because
just-
you can't kill them.
Yeah.
Like, this objective's mine forever. But the number of times I had 3 Sagittarums sitting on objective, just plinking in shots every single turn, just getting some chips in, and every model I killed mattered. So I like Sagittarum. I've changed my mind. I'm into them again. Back into Sagittarum. We've come full circle.
And in Charity Hammer, you're going to get a whole bunch more data points.
This is
yeah,
true.
yeah. My round 1 matchup, I'm a little worried about. It's sisters with like
Okay.
a bunch of mortifiers and mortis engines,
Oh, cool.
and I don't even know how that game happens.
No,
but
that's good. With your -1 damage,
Yep.
I feel like
Well, we both. Oh, he doesn't have. You're right.
he doesn't.
Yeah.
I think that's a good matchup for you, actually.
I hope
In a
so.
Weird way.
I hope so.
That's super cool. So you think? So are we seeing Sagittarum Guard in competitive lists?
Yes.
That's the
They're not in all lists, but we're back to. I sort of brought in an era years ago of Custodian Guard spam.
Right.
Of like, I was the person who was like,
shields.
oh, we should just.
Yeah.
We can't.
Right.
We can't compete on the fighting front, but we can sure compete on the you can't kill us or
Right.
OPSEC front. So I was like, all right, 30 Custodian Guard with shields, and then that was a thing for a while.
Yeah, it was a
Before
thing.
that, it was like all about Terminators, Aquilon Terminators, Alaris Terminators, cool. After Custodian Guard, we went back to that. We went back to like, all right, we're gonna do Alaris bombs, we're gonna do Aquilon bombs, then it became Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
It's still Dreadnoughts, but we're now so far away from Custodian Guard that like you just don't take them, which kind of makes me sad.
Dreadnoughts are your new Custodian Guard. They're the new, like, you just can't kill us models.
It's so fascinating because a lot of people were like, so Telemon and I think even the Gladys, but mostly Telemon, saw points increases, and people were like up in arms, not up in arms, but they were like, oh, they're so much worse now because they're not undercosted, and it's like, no, they're still great.
People
units.
told me it killed the list, and I was like,
It's hilarious.
I was like happy to hear it at the time because I still don't like Telemons, but they were wrong. The people who said that were just blatantly wrong.
They were undercosted before, and now they're still great. You know?
Now they're like probably the right cost. If they lost T8, which I don't know when or how they would because they're not in the codex, but
Yeah, seems like it's set for a while.
if they went to T7 to match the Leviathan, I don't think you would see them anymore.
No, they would lose a
T8's
lot.
huge, and on the Gladys, the -1 to hit and -1 damage combo is huge.
And 4-up Inwalm on a
And a 4-up, and a
Dreadnought.
4-up invuln.
Like, how many Dreadnoughts have 4-up Inwalm?
Can you heal those guys? Can you like soup in some like Tech Priest Engine Seers and I don't know. Like, is there like
I don't know with the new AdMech book, but you used to be able to do stuff like
No,
that.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Like,
But
Call used to be able to heal any Imperium. So he could like repair knights and stuff.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
I
I might
don't
be
think you
making
can do
this
it
up. I
anymore.
don't know,
No,
but I
you
don't think
can't
you can
do
do
it.
it anymore. But
But that's part of their power, right? Is like, we had 1 wound, and it's like, oh, can I do 1
Right.
wound?
Can
or
you?
whatever.
Can't.
Because
Yeah.
you don't know, and you have to you end up throwing more dice than you need because it's not reliable. And the dang feeling pains. I'm
Dude,
sure you
making those
rolled.
3-up Inwalms were amazing.
Oh my! Well, that one was crazy.
That was so
oh my god.
good.
on the bike captain?
Yeah, on the bike captain rolling all his 3-up Inwalms one at a time.
Yep.
That was stressful. I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
freaking out.
That was
What about,
amazing.
what about you, Adrian? MVP?
MVP. So, it's tough to say. I think this was cool because this was a game where Gaz like definitely did work, and that doesn't always happen. So I was really happy with his ability to like get in there, be a pain for Bridger, and he killed a bunch of stuff. So he's definitely up there.
He was like something
Yeah.
lodged in my teeth. Like I
Yeah.
just couldn't. I was like picking around in there. I couldn't get him
Right.
out. He was just stuck in.
Yeah.
Took so long to deal with.
Once
that.
he's in melee and you can't shoot him, and then
Yeah.
and you don't have any smites or anything you can do in the psychic phase, you're
And-
just like
yeah.
four wounds a turn.
Exactly.
If that, there were a lot of turns
Yeah.
where I got like 2 wounds. And I was
No,
like,
yeah, exactly. And if you don't have fallback and shoot, fallback and charge,
Right. Yeah.
it's like, okay, you have like the Galatis, for example, in melee. Well, do you want to fall back so you can shoot, but then not charge with the Galatis, or are you just going to stay in combat for
Yeah.
another turn?
Although weirdly,
You know?
like Dreadnought with flamers is actually a pretty, because you can flame, do some damage in the
Yeah.
shoot phase,
And you have volume.
and then fight and do some
Yeah.
damage in the fight phase. The fight phase at least happens twice per battle round.
right.
Exactly. No, I totally agree.
But he got stuck in and was like
was great.
doing his thing
His
for
rerolls
He
were
killed
great
his
too.
Talon himself.
Yeah.
He basically single-handedly killed the Talon.
4 flat damage.
So good.
I do think, though, if you're going to take Gaz, you have to take a Weird Boy with Fissigork.
Yeah,
plus
for
two
the plus two
attacks
attacks
was
is
essential.
So much value.
Yeah, because he only has 5 attacks base normally. And you can totally, like, you have invulns, you could... Whiffing is not easy, but just someone having invulns is a thing. So,
Yeah.
But
And
once he was
hits
base
on
7, 8
hits on
attacks...
threes, right? Which is not 2s re-rolling. Like,
No,
He
hits
normally is on
He
2s,
hits
but
on
the
2s.
Galatis has the shield.
Yeah, it was
that's
like...
right. Okay. Yeah.
But still, it's like, if you have 5 attacks and 5 attacks, you know? So, but he was cool. So I definitely would give it to Gaz.
And -1 to hit in melee is like not common, but also becoming more of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Which, I like it. I like it. I had some solutions to it, but not all solutions. There's so many +1 to hits in the Orc Codex. It's funny.
You also had a lot, just like Gaz's reroll all hits. And
That's
like,
true.
it was never worth
Ways
Emperor's
of kind of
Auspice.
getting around it.
Like 2 CP, you're not rerolling
forgot,
against this
yeah.
one thing. It was like, that's not. That's so many CP.
Yeah.
That's Shadowkeepers twice, or double shoot and Shadowkeepers.
Every command point matters so desperately in this game.
Yeah.
Which is why it killed me when I interrupted without needing to.
Yeah,
Mistake. I made mistakes for sure.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
I mean, there were so many times in this game where I gave you like very difficult decisions, and you navigated them super well.
Oh, thank you.
Every time except that one time.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even realized that I'd given you that weird decision that you like. I also didn't figure it out.
No, I knew you weren't like, yes, no, I tricked
I was
him.
just like giving you every opportunity I could where I was like, I don't know, maybe he'll make a mistake.
Yeah.
I just
Spend
gave you the
CP.
option.
I did. I just burned 2 CP for no
That's
reason.
crazy. That's what like the biggest thing about this game is there's so many really hard decisions.
Yeah.
That like, and it's not obvious what the right answer is in the moment, and so you just give your opponent every turn, give them like 5 or 6 really hard decisions to make,
Yep.
and they're
mess
gonna,
one of
they're
them
gonna
up.
mess one of them up. And like same thing, if they're giving you 5 or 6 really hard decisions, you're just like sitting there racking your brain, like what's the right
Yeah.
the right thing to do every single time. It's
Exactly.
hard. It's so hard.
That's one of the things I like about Custodes is I just don't have 6 decisions to make.
That's right.
So you can't give me 6 bad decisions because I can't make that many.
Because you're just so reliable.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to hear what you guys thought of. I know. So let's have a salt-free discussion of Beast Snagga boys versus boys. So we had one unit of 10 Beast Snaggas, which in my opinion was just enough to kind of see the comparison between the two. But what do you guys think? Should we go and Beast Snagga boys? Should we?
Well, here's a
Do
question.
boys still have a spot?
4 years later, Intercessors pretty clearly just better than TAC Marines,
Yeah.
right? Almost all the time.
Yeah, when we started, we were talking about things like, well, you know, they can take cheap, Firstborn Marines can take cheap transports, and this is a transport edition, and, you know, we've sort of moved away from transport because tank killing, you know, because Dark Lances exist.
So, yeah.
And Last Chickens exist, but like, we were sort of trying to talk up what some of the things that Firstborn Marines could do that Primaris can't. But I feel like all of that's just sort of slowly become less and less relevant.
Yeah, and certainly since the launch of Primaris, even before 9th too, it's like they were really bad before, and then over time they got better and better, and then it's like no, now we're kind of arguing for the opposite, where it's like this is why you could take Firstborn,
Yeah.
because it's pretty clear the Primaris are better. We're not at that stage yet, but
Right.
it could be.
Well, but okay, so that was just a primer. That
So, right, that's the primer. What are the things that old boys do better than Beast Snaggas?
They're 2 points cheaper.
which is not nothing.
It's not
not
nothing.
nothing.
When you have 90 of them,
Right.
that's 180 extra points.
It's a whole unit of something.
That's 100. That's 30 more boys. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Not quite, but yeah.
Not quite. You get the idea. That's X amount more boys. So this is why it's very pervasive, actually. It's very, it's hard to track because they have the same exact number of attacks,
Right.
same number of wounds, same toughness, same save, same weapon skill.
Yeah.
So you're like, most of it is the same. But, so what do you get, I guess is the other question.
Yeah.
You get access to 2 CP transhuman, which is a pretty big deal.
But as we saw in this game, CP's already tight, so giving you like another juicy thing to spend your CP on means you're not spending those CP on other things.
This is true. And Orc list traditionally, because most of the strats aren't amazing, you're actually running pretty CP light. This is the most command points I've had since we've played this book, right? So that's a valid point. You get the 6-up invuln. It's a pretty big deal.
Which in this game, there was a super clutch moment, but you're not going to roll 5 dice and roll 4 6s in every game.
No, yeah, that's true. And then there's the +1 to hit against vehicles and monsters, which is to me the least compelling of the arguments.
I wouldn't even factor that in the calculation. That's an incidental upside when it happens, but I wouldn't like
Like
base,
it's something you're not great at anyways.
I wouldn't base taking the unit around that. I wouldn't even consider it. I would say, if I took the unit and I got the +1, cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to worry about it.
So let me ask you guys this question. Is the custom force field an auto take in Orks?
No. I hate it.
So I feel like if the custom force field is in your list, like 1 or 2 units of beast snaggers that are going to be operating kind of on the flanks away from the force field makes sense because the 6+ symbol.
Yeah.
But like if you don't have a custom force field, I almost would say like, yeah, beast snaggers are great because you don't have any 6+ invulns on the field.
Yeah. It's true.
You've already got it. Maybe just like tuck into them a little bit, not like as your whole army.
Yeah, I think that's also another very valid point, which eventually we'll do. You know, we have 40 beast snaggers right now, and so we'll do 40 at some point to kind of see like what does it look like when you run lots of those.
Yeah.
I'm still not super convinced that that's like the best way to run orcs.
They're still expensive.
Yeah, I just
2
don't.
points
I think
are-
it's a style of gameplay that doesn't work right now, personally. But we'll see. I've never been very good at it in 9th edition.
It's
though, I will say that.
mostly an MSU trading game right now.
Yeah, and that's
where
what-
if you're taking big blocks of boys that you're putting all these points into, they can, as we've seen, just get picked up by the average army. Like it's just not playing to the way that the game is played right now.
Yeah. And that's where the 2 points, like having a cheap throwaway units is valuable in 9th ed, and adding 2 points per model does nothing to make them better at doing their cheap throwaway job.
Yeah.
so-
I will say the 6-up invuln will matter, I think, even more in the MSU style play.
Yes.
Because then if you survive with one model,
Yes.
you have that unit will continue to do its job of standing in a place and holding an objective and having OPSEC. So like they might kill 8 of your 10 Beast Snagger boys because you rolled 2 6s and you would have gotten saves otherwise, right? So like this, I think, will be
I
major.
agree.
Yeah, it just means that your opponent will need to put 5 more shots into that unit.
Right.
And
If they can.
If they can.
If they can.
You play that angle game so that
right.
there's nothing left to go into them.
yeah, 6+ invuln feels like a skill ability. Like if you
Yes,
can
for sure.
position your guys in such a way that those extra
Yeah.
5 shots don't exist, then and you make those 6+ invulns, then your unit survives as a result. Then cool.
I think I'm going to look at using squads of 10 inside the kill rig, which is an amazing unit. I personally am going to take 3 in my competitive list.
Yeah.
So
It's kind of gross.
it's so good. But yeah, anyways. So some thoughts on boys and beast snaggers.
Yeah.
I think anything else about the game? I think we're good, yeah?
I think it's mail time.
It's mail time.
Mail time.
So we had a stack of packages the other day, and this is from Damn We opened one of 2 packages, and so
There's a third at
it
the
just
post office.
was hidden, and there's a third at the post office. So we're gonna open this one. It's from Damn So thank you, Damn Also thank you for the pizza yesterday.
Oh, that pizza was good.
Yes.
Do we have an opening? Oh, there
We
it is.
have
Yeah.
an actual box opener. Well, that'll
opening
work.
utensil.
This is actually safer.
Says you.
It's a multi-use tool.
Multi-tool.
You can build models, plastic models.
A
or
knife.
You can open cardboard boxes.
A knife that
Exactly.
builds.
Trying to like
Constructs
not.
Yeah.
There we go.
instead of
addresses.
destroy.
Yeah. It protect and it attack. All
You're
right.
just gonna throw the popcorn everywhere.
I mean, I was thinking about it.
No, don't do that.
Is this the kind of popcorn that dissolves in water?
It feels like it, yeah.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Oh, what the heck?
The kind of popcorn that doesn't dissolve in water.
What the heck?
It's like bad, right?
Oh, yes.
Wait, what is it?
It's a gargant. It's
Oh
huge.
my gosh, it's a huge
So,
gargant.
yeah, well, by the way, we're saying huge for this model because this is epic scale models. What?
That's so
That is a
cool.
This is a huge gargant.
That model is massive on an epic scale.
Oh my, because so for example, a Stompa is about yay big. This is huge.
amazing.
I didn't know they made a plastic one of this. I've seen a metal one.
Yeah, I assume they were metal too.
That's
Yeah.
wicked.
That's super sick. There we go. The size of this crane is like hundreds of feet long.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my god.
This is like, yeah, this is
That's amazing.
very large Titan scale.
Wow. So now,
Not glued together. All right. Cool.
Okay. So now we do have, upon request, if you guys haven't seen Thursday's show, we do have a glam cam now.
Oh,
We're
glamour
doing
it
so
up.
many cool
Let's
things.
try that out.
Let's take a look
How
at it.
glamorous. Oh, look at that boy.
Oh, it's so
He's
cool.
so big. Wow. And he's got a face. I love that he has like a Rock'em Sock'em Robots face.
Yes, he does. Now, I'm going to grab some boys to show you guys for scale. Boys for scale.
Oh, and grab a Gorkanaut if you can.
Stompa? Yeah.
Samba.
So here
Same thing.
is, here's boys. This is actually a pretty dang big battle wagon. Like this is bigger than the current
That's
model.
a really big battle wagon.
Yeah. And
Oh,
I'll
that's
grab a Stompa.
epic battle wagons.
Epic battle wagons.
Are we
And-
making a display?
Yeah, we totally are.
Of
Damn it!
Epic?
In preparation for this, I sort of thought this might happen, so I brought my Epic Tau in as well.
The tile look ridiculous.
So here's a devilfish.
Ooh. The devilfish is literally the size of a Stompa.
Wait, that's a big devilfish.
Big devilfish.
That's scale, right?
Here's some stealth suits.
Big devilfish. Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
wow. Look at those cute little stealth
They're
suits.
so cute. And they're like the old school stealth suits too, which is what Brett has. So
They're ready for war.
they're like painted in the same style.
Wow, the orcs look big next to stealth
Oh
suits.
man.
The orcs look big.
It's like a
Just-
family photo.
The devilfish looks big.
No, I mean like the orc boys next to stealth suits.
Yeah, yeah,
Are
yeah.
much
And I-
larger.
I feel like we need a 40K model in there for skill as well.
Here we go.
Well, let's do this one.
Okay.
That one had an accident in transit.
This is a Primaris
This is
Tech
Primaris
Marine.
Tech Marine. Yep.
All right.
Towers over there.
I love it. It's just a totally different aesthetic. You know? I love it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so
All right, cool.
we have some more.
Oh, what's in there?
This looks like more kinds of battle wagons with Defrolas this time.
Defrolas.
Defrolas, I'll give you one of those. Oh my
These
god.
these are like micro machine size.
Yes.
This
yes.
is so cool.
This is amazing.
It's like they took
So
like
a bunch of them.
a real world tank. I was gonna
Yeah,
try
yeah.
to name a real world tank and realize that would have been a mistake.
Yeah.
It's like they took a real world tank and then just like put smokestacks on the back and a big roller on the
It's so
front.
amazing. I love it. The roller. You know what this
so
reminds me of?
cool.
My brother and I recently took up a project to kind of figure out how to run and play Command & Conquer Red Alert 2, which we had a lot of fun playing as kids, and we got it running, and so we've been playing a ton of that lately, and this totally reminds me of that, like that same kind of aesthetic.
Yeah.
You know? Also, not to mention the retro thing, but
Retro futurism.
retrofuturism.
Very cool.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
Is there more in there?
I don't know. Yes. Oh boy.
Oh, that looks big.
This looks big and gray.
What is that?
Oh, it's more boys.
Boys,
Oh, there's
boys.
so many boys.
This is so many boys. That's awesome. Here, let's get some out. These are on different. These are on like the same style,
Yeah.
same stands as your
Stealth suits?
stealth suits.
Yeah, the way this game's so there was sort of back and forth on whether you're supposed to use these like flat, thin stands or whether you're supposed to
Right.
use the square stands. And there was a point where any were legal. I don't know quite
Oh.
where they landed.
What is that?
This guy in the middle, this is Zodgrod. This is an epic scale Zodgrod. It's totally based off of the model.
Why is
so you can see he still has the hair.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's so much good stuff in here.
Why is he just on a boy base?
I don't know.
Do they like come off the base?
Yeah, I mean they pop, but not you're not supposed to.
They
During a
pop
game.
in
Pop in.
much harder to pop out.
I've never played actual Epic,
Brett, you gotta teach us epic.
but here you go. Very.
Which one of these?
very
This
cool.
guy is Zogrod without the
So
banner?
the staff guy, yeah, he's got the prodder.
All right, Zogrod here.
It's definitely based off of the old Zodgrod model. I think I got them all.
Wow, what a beautiful family photo.
It's adorable.
I feel like we're like QVC for out of production games.
Yeah.
And buy now. If you buy in the next 5 minutes, you'll get Zogrod in your boy space.
That's right. Now,
that's
you know
amazing.
what I love about this, Janet, is I just think it'll look fabulous next to your, yeah. Anyways.
Next to your Gargant, I think Zogrod
Next to your
really looks
Gargant.
He really looks pretty stylish.
Love it.
Thank you, damn it. It's very,
Yeah,
very
thanks. And there's one more box of these.
Cool. Yes.
At the post office.
That's the post
Post
office.
office.
So we have to pay to retrieve.
pick them up.
The post office is holding them hostage.
It's so funny. All right, so we do have
Yeah,
a
we
number
have
of
some more-
questions.
we have
Shall
some more
we
questions.
get into it?
Let us do that. Oh,
Yeah, the mouse is having some struggles. It's having a rough day.
thanks, Martin. How sad will Bridger be if his Custodes lose to Orks, the faction that has been bottom of the pile for so long? Will Custodes spend as long as at the bottom of the meta as the Orks did?
Well, Martin.
Well, neither is on the bottom.
That feels
I
like
have to say-
trolling right there.
Yeah.
Chiefs of the Cult, definitely worse than both factions.
Definitely,
Yep.
yeah.
So, there. Gotcha. You got boomed.
Gotcha. And Orcs lost, so
Yeah,
there you go.
Custodes won.
And Custodes were victorious
Victorious! Triumphantly. God, that was such a good
by
game.
1 point.
So good. Yeah.
And we both scored really high.
Yeah, we did. We did. I love it. Great game.
Thank you, Dominic Drury. I won't expect you to remember, but I took your Blood Angels advice and went 4-2 at my first grand tournament.
Oh, that's awesome.
Awesome. MSU was a must, and everyone bounced off Terminators. Thanks, guys.
Oh, okay,
Nice.
the Terminator. I do remember this, actually. That's awesome. So glad we could be of use, and hope you had a
Yeah.
good time.
4-2
is great.
MSU is like where it's at these days.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
Gotta start that trade war, you know?
Thanks again, Martin. Oh crap, I forgot it was Bridger's birthday on Monday.
Oh, no.
Many belated
Thank
happy
you.
returns. How was it? And more importantly, what did Adrian and Brian get you?
Well, I had a great birthday. Was I here Monday? I wasn't here Monday.
You actually weren't here for
I worked
the first part of the week, to be
a
honest.
lot. Monday,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Yeah, this week has been crazy for you for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, next week's also gonna be crazy, but because I'm
reasons.
traveling a lot
Yeah.
but
Busy life of Bridger.
having a good
Yeah.
go of it. We're
Of
chugging
life.
along. Yeah,
Yeah, we're moving around the sun.
yeah.
Moving around the sun.
Yeah.
I hope to enjoy another revolution.
Happy Revolution Day to you, sir.
Yeah, thanks, Martin. Thank you, D-Un-IT. No message, just a donation.
Well, thanks for the donation.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it.
Thanks again, Martin. Bridger, was great to have you confirm that the Tabletop Titans dice will definitely be here by Christmas. I'm sure you have everything under control, but could we pre-order now to ensure you order enough? Sounds like more epic trolling.
Okay, so pre-orders,
Yes
we
and no.
had a lot of back and forth on pre-orders,
did.
whether it's a good idea or not.
Yep.
And we have decided it's probably not a good idea, for a lot of reasons. But like, it's just an opportunity for people to have feel bads. So we're just not going to do pre-orders.
Yep, we're doing it in a way that we can get the most number of dice to the most number of people and make it so everyone has a good time. It's like there's lots of decisions that go behind a release like this. So we feel good about the decisions that we made. So we're not going to be pre-ordering, but they'll just be available.
And I didn't say definitely Christmas. I said probably Christmas.
Possibly, maybe 100%.
Christmas
There's
season.
a 50% chance that
There's a high
Christmas.
likelihood that by some Christmas,
Yeah.
there will be TTT
didn't
dice.
say which
Classic.
Christmas. Yeah, that's right.
But hey, thanks, Martin. Appreciate the support.
Yeah. Thanks, Curtis. So working on painting my Eldorky list.
All right.
Wow. 2x18 defenders, 2x12 storm guardians, 10 wind ride orcs for an Ulthway pattern army to a new club's first event. Wow? Question
So
mark?
wacky. I love it. This sounds
awesome.
great, Curtis.
So are they Eldar that
Eldar
are modeled
rules
as orcs?
Orc army.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Orc army, Eldar rules.
Yeah.
So it's like orcified, like looted Eldar vehicles.
Yeah, or maybe Def Coptas as
Yeah.
Wind Riders.
Yeah. Okay.
I love it. Go ahead.
That's great.
Is there an army that you can not make out of orc models? Like
No.
I've seen so many good conversions into
Yeah.
other armies out of orcs.
One of my favorites is Harlequin Orcs. Have you seen this one? It's amazing.
They're
awesome.
all like
They're Harlequin Orcs.
Gestured up?
So they're like gestured up, and they all have the masks are like
Yeah.
almost like pie plate ones with like kind of Joker style like smiley faces, and like it totally works. It's so good. It's like it's not even weird. It just totally works.
Are they like dancing and flipping and
Yeah,
stuff?
they are.
Because I
They
wanna
are.
see an
And he's got
orc,
the
like,
jet bikes and stuff.
Pirouetting
Yeah,
orc. Yeah.
I'll try to find some of the
dexterity orc.
screenshots. It's pretty amazing. Yeah.
love
So
it.
I'm excited to see this, Curtis.
Thanks, Apollo Brown. Hey, Titans. I'm a new member and a first-time super chat.
Welcome.
Thank
I
you.
want to make a successor Space Marine chapter that is only Primaris and focus on melee. Any suggestions on how? Units, chapter tactics, etc. Thanks and keep it up.
Cool. Oh, I definitely have opinions. Do you want to?
Well, chapter tactic, immediately, right off the bat. Hungry for battle, +1 advance and charge. And fall back and charge. I don't remember the name of that sub-chapter tactic. Whoa, that was cool. So, because he's doing a successor.
Oh, successor. Right.
So hungry for battle is +1 advance and charge.
Yep.
And there's, I don't know what it's called, but there's something where it's fall back and charge.
Yes.
Which is, it still baffles me that that is a chapter tactic that you can take.
Right.
And
Right.
we don't see it for some reason because
It's so good.
So
it's insanely
good.
strong.
Yeah.
It's like normally something that's a stratagem, you're just like, here, my whole army
Yeah.
gets this.
all the time.
And in some cases, it's like a 2 CP stratagem, depending
Right.
on which army you're in.
Yeah. Or it's like locked behind a chapter.
Right.
That's like, okay, you can do this, but we're gonna really limit like how you can use it.
Yeah.
And it's like you could do super funky stuff with this. So what chapter would they be inheriting?
For combat, I would go Blood Angels or Space Wolves. Probably Blood Angels.
On White Scars?
Oh, or White Scars.
+1 damage is pretty nice.
That's I like that suggestion. Because you already have part of what you would want from Blood Angels. 'Cause you already have the +1 advance and charge.
Yep.
And then you also have fall back and charge. And then just getting all the White Scar strats to pile on top of that.
Yeah. It's pretty
And the
nice.
Super Doctrine.
Pretty nice.
I mean,
Sounds good.
the White Scars, like, do you still get the advance and charge from White Scars?
No,
So this
that's
is
our
the
chapter.
one kind of funky thing
Right.
about this is it's like almost strictly worse,
Right.
which is why you don't see White Scars successors.
Advance and charge is like one of, if not the best part. I mean, +1 damage is good, but it's only an assault doctrine.
Yeah.
So like advance and charge matters on turn 1, 2, the whole
Yeah,
game. It's
exactly.
It's good.
So it's like strats and powers
Yeah. And super doctrine, right?
and super doctrine, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think I probably still would say White Scars.
Yes, once you're already committed to being a successor, I almost wouldn't even think about the opportunity cost of this chapter tactic you're losing because you've already decided you're a
Yeah.
successor,
Oh,
right?
yeah, no, you're
so
right.
you're losing the White Scars, advance and charge. Okay, fine, you weren't going to get any of them.
Yeah, that was never the goal.
So like which strats, relics, warlord traits do you want?
So what about Black Templar? Their base chapter tactic is pretty bad, but their strat's good, and their super doctrine's like
a
sort
good
of
point.
mediocre, but their strat's good.
I think their chapter tactic is way better than their super doctrine. I hate their super
the
doctrine.
5-up in the pain against mortals?
No,
and
the super
plus-
doctrine
and
is
reroll
exploding-
charges.
exploding sixes.
Only on the turn that you charge.
That is
which
the
is
weird
so-
weakness, yeah.
That's
No,
what
it's
I'm saying.
it's auto wounding sixes.
Six
really
auto
bad.
That's their
wound.
chapter tactic. Yeah,
No,
so you
th-
lose that.
No, that's
No.
their super doctrine is auto wounding on sixes
Right.
when you charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
is
yeah.
terrible.
It's not great. Like you would not use it for the super doctrine. You'd use it for the strat.
The strats are genuinely
And their
amazing.
litanies
Yeah.
and
Their
their
litanies,
relics are amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those would be the reason to do it because they're
Yeah.
pretty good.
Man, there's so many good options.
Man, I feel like I would gladly give up sixes, like exploding sixes for advance and charge. Or no, I'm thinking about this wrong.
That'd be a weird combo. Yeah.
That would be. I would give that
would
up
do
for
that,
that.
but that's not how that works.
I totally agree.
Do that.
Oh my
All right,
god.
Never
Amazing.
mind. I don't think I said any of that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
So I think Blood Angels, right? Blood Angels. Back to Blood Angels.
yeah, it's a tough call,
Yeah.
but I like
And then
Whiskers.
units, classic. I mean, so your Primaris only. Oh, that changes. So definitely not Blood Angels. Blood Angels right out. Don't pick them.
Because all that extra stuff is from jump packs.
Much of the reason to take Blood Angels is for things
Yeah.
that are only firstborn.
Blade Guard veterans.
Blade Guard, yep.
Yes.
Aggressors, maybe.
You could do aggressors.
Redemptor
Also
Dread.
Redemptors.
Redemptor Dread. Good in combat. Good.
Good at everything.
Primaris.
And the bikes.
Oh, Outriders.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bikes are good. Yeah. Those are good for your fast scoring because you don't have jump packs.
Inceptors aren't combat, but they're really good.
Just good support. You need some shooting. You don't need a lot of shooting in 9th edition, but you just a little bit, as we saw today.
Just a smidge.
Something to stop those dang Venatari. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, Apollo. Good luck. Thank you, Porthos Duvalan. Hello, Titans. Thank you for the great content. I'm painting my Tau in a forest camo, but I'm not sure how to approach the highlighting with a camo pattern. Do y'all have any tips for highlighting camo?
Yeah.
That seems like a Brad question.
I mean,
I have no idea.
highlighting camo. So you could try to like edge highlight each little sort of blob of the camo pattern, that sounds like, I mean, I think that's why you're asking this question, because it immediately feels to me like an awful experience. Although I've seen it done and it looks amazing. It's just really, really time consuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this is the reason to like why camo is hard, because and I've never really tackled it. It just felt to me like too much of a barrier.
Right.
So this is kind of a non-answer. Like I've not done it before and I've not tried it before because I've had the same sort of reaction that you're having here. I mean, do you have any thoughts, Adrian?
Yeah, I would do one of two things. I would either just do an edge highlight on the top of each camo kind of section.
Yeah.
And it can make it feel like it has a little bit of depth, and you're doing, it's still a lot, but it's half the amount of work. And then the other thing is, yeah, don't do anything that has anything to do with the pattern, essentially. You just do the normal edge highlighting, where it's like if you have the cloak of an eliminator, so like those edges of the cloak that are just naturally, it's like a curve and the sharp edge, like edge highlight that, and the bottoms and the sides.
Yeah.
And just get those big kind of straight line shapes.
Right.
And don't worry about the rest.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. There's not a lot of curves. Like, I mean, Tau are going to be good for that because there's a lot of hard edges.
Yeah.
You're going to have a lot, on your battle suits. You're going to have, your sort of camo pattern, and then you can just edge highlight the edges of the panels.
Exactly. Yeah.
And it'll look really good.
Yeah.
If you want to, so like the one guy I've seen do it really well is Sebastian Stewart. If you go to eastern-empire.com, he's got a couple different armies that he's painted, but one of which is Tau, and his urban Tau, they're like a gray and purple.
Cool.
The gray is done in a camo pattern. It looks amazing.
That's awesome.
So that's one place you can go to check out an example if you want to do it the hard way.
Right, yeah.
All right, thanks, Derpy Derp. The new Orc Codex has been pretty brutal in my gaming group. We play 1,000 points in Crusade. Do you have any thoughts on trying to resist the new green tide at those game sizes for Astra Militarum?
Yes. So 1K.
That would be
1K.
Yeah, they're gonna be dominant in 1K games.
They're so good at 1K.
Well, we should talk about why.
Yeah.
Right? Why are they so good in 1K games? Because T5, 1K games are about, you have a few units that you're going to trade, just like in 2,000 point games, but everybody has so few units, and the board is so small, and everything happens so fast, and it's on such a fine turning point because there's so few points that each of you are going to score, that like, if you just tweak stats a little bit, you're like, oh, I'm T5, and instead of killing 10 of my 10 boys, you kill 5 of my 10 boys, and then they kill you.
It's a big difference.
Like, you just win on the spot. You're like, oh, cool, you didn't kill me.
Do you think maybe Astra Militarum would do better in that matchup at 1,001 points, where you would go up to like the next board size? And you're playing with more command points.
Definitely.
And you're so
that's
like,
funny.
like 1K points is the highest point value you can play on the smaller board size. Like, just bump it to like 1,100 or 1,250 or something, just to like get to the higher board
That's
size.
unnecessary. That's pretty harsh.
It's a creative solution.
No,
That's
like,
so mean to the orcs.
is it though? Like, they're the
Yes.
brand new codex. They've got all the fancy new toys.
It's like you're tweaking the one like variable that can like mess with them the most. That like, I don't know. It feels
Here's
weird.
what you do. You take
Feels weird.
3 wyverns, and you cackle maniacally.
I was gonna say Strength 3 lasguns don't care about T5,
That's true.
Yeah, I was
and so
saying
just
before.
bring like 90 guardsmen,
Oh man.
right? Like,
I still don't think. Yeah.
it's the same.
Honestly, bodies.
First rank fire, second rank fire.
Yeah, it's so brutal on that small board because like one of the things with the new orcs especially is
Fall back and shoot with an order that's free. That's not even a command point.
you're fiend. The thing with the orcs is like they have these like threat ranges, and they're like hide, and then they're like, oh, if you get closer, you're gonna get crumped. Like I'm gonna wah on you, or I'm gonna truck boys all the way in, and that's the whole board with the small game.
Yeah.
So that really is the toughest thing. So
You have
if
to
you're
plan on
screening
being
it,
charged turn 1, and then have a plan for it.
like take a one big squad of infantry,
stretch it all
No,
across?
yeah, literally
Yeah.
make a line and
Yeah.
move up, and then that'll stall a little bit. You just
Right.
do have to get on points still,
Yeah.
but Bulgarian could be interesting maybe because they can actually fit. No.
No, I think they would just die.
Okay.
I read a funny report from a guy who went to many, many events bringing 300, not guardsmen, conscripts. He just massed conscripts. He's like, conscripts are back. I'm just going to
Yeah.
take as many 30-man conscript squads as I
my
can,
God.
and I don't even shoot in my shoot phase.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't kill anything except with these 2 manticores.
Right.
and I just flood the board with bodies, and I spend the entire game just moving my models.
I love it.
That's all of my clock time, and I do pretty well. And I'm like, you have a bad back. You might win games, but
Yeah. And do you have fun doing that? I don't
he
know,
seems to
I
have a
guess.
blast. I guess.
I respect that. You know what?
It's a lot of painting for what is essentially a meme.
Yep.
Yeah. But at least he like acknowledges he doesn't shoot.
Yeah.
Doesn't clock himself out.
Doesn't even
right.
try.
You know,
It's
he's
a-
not gonna like Manny Chimmy it. You know.
It's a very skew list for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks, Martin. Thanks, Martin. Bridger, I know that since the Facebook announcement that Dice will definitely be here for Christmas, that excitement is building. Can you reveal the color options?
FB.
Facebook? Facebook announcement.
It's not, but I didn't announce on Facebook.
Yeah, it's a joke, Bridger.
Oh.
This
okay.
whole he's saying
It's not a good joke. But it's
well,
good.
I can tell you the
he's goading
colors.
you into admitting that you.
think, unless we've changed.
We voted on them. The people voted on them.
Well, this might have changed behind the scenes since then, but because we have a new manufacturer now. But I'm pretty sure it's still gem purple with white engraved lettering. White with black lettering. That was the favorite. And then like a marbled purple with gold lettering. Those were the three that
Pretty
won.
cool.
That people want the most. So that's what I plan. Again, not making any promises on anything.
But according to Martin, it was announced and promised. So
Apparently.
Yeah.
Well, now we have to make it happen.
now we have.
Now it's gonna happen by some
That's
Christmas
how that works.
sometime.
And, or we could just say fake news and
Didn't happen.
didn't happen.
Because it didn't. Because it literally didn't.
But for real though, it didn't happen.
Real news.
Thanks, Colin. How to buff or change Raven Guard chapter tactic and Super Doctrine to be more interesting. Also, I want to see Assault Centurions on the channel.
Yeah, we should definitely get them on the channel for sure.
Do we own
Yeah.
any?
I have
oh, you
mine.
do. You do.
They're literally in storage right now, but I can play them.
I have
fists, but-
somewhere black primed Centurions with no weapons, and all the weapons.
No weapons?
Like I have all the weapons,
They're not magnetized or anything.
not glued. So they could be Assault Centurions or Centurion devs.
So when we do our Raven Guard, we should just do those for the lulz as well. Like while
just
we're
try
at
to
it.
find them.
Find them and then
Yeah.
you know just do them up so we can play them for funny.
The last time I had models somewhere that we needed to find, I couldn't find
Wait,
them.
I'm not sure he was asking about Centurions in Raven Guard. I think he just.
Yeah, not
okay.
necessarily, but
But that's where they're.
that's traditionally where they've been.
Okay.
And that's like one of the few places you could maybe try to play
well,
them.
they changed all the strats, so none of the strats work on them. So I don't actually even know what you. I don't know.
Not all,
I think White Scar.
no,
they're
not
probably
all
best
the
as White
strats don't work
Scars.
on them. They still deep strike. You can't forward deploy them.
Yeah.
That's all.
So do you guys have any thoughts on how to buff or change Raven Guard chapter tactic or Super Doctrine?
Make them like commandos, +1 wound if they're in cover. That'd be dope.
Army wide.
I'm sorry. What do Blood Angels do?
Oh, snap. Oh, snap.
Okay.
Right?
And not only, Blood Angels get a lot more than that, too.
Yes.
I'm thinking about it. Give me a second.
Okay.
This is all right. So
It'd
they
be
would
cool.
keep the cover outside 12 and -1 hit if you're in cover. And then if they're within an inch of a trained piece, they also get +1 wound.
Yeah. That'd be good.
They would. Oh,
I'd be
that'd be real good.
real into that.
That would-
honest.
I would not. I would probably not play Blood Angels anymore.
Yeah.
I would switch back to Raven Guard.
Yeah.
Which I did for a period, because like Raven Guard have insane
The
strategies.
strats are so
Their
good.
strats are ridiculous. It's
They're
just
really,
the rest
really
of the factions unplayable. But like
And the Super Doctrine's not good.
Super Doctrine's
What is the
Which is part of the
Raven
rest of
Guard
it being
weird.
When you're in Tactical Doctrine, there's +1 to hit and +1 to wound against characters. In
So
Tactical
for one
Doctrine,
turn of the game,
Well, 2 turns.
could be 2.
potentially 2,
Yeah.
against characters.
And-
Is it for shooting and melee?
Yeah.
It's for shooting in melee, but it's locked to essentially a shooting doctrine for a
Yeah.
type of weapon that's not snipers.
Right, I was going to say Scout Sniper meta, but oh wait, Tactical Doctrine doesn't
Yeah.
care about heavy weapons.
It's totally all over the place, so that
some
needs to be redesigned. But
So I'm thinking like the Phobos character that has the sniper weapon.
the
like
assault one?
Yeah. Oh, that's not in Tactical Doctrine.
Oh, you're right.
There's
right.
there's a Phobos character that like you can build him up as a sniper.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's assault.
I used to do that as Raven Guard because you can also give him Corvid.
Corvidae bolts.
Corvidae is Corvus bolts? There's some K bolt. K bolt. You give him K bolt. There we go. which is like gives them 6-inch more range.
You can have kobolds.
Kobolds. Yeah. Kobolds? Is that how you say kobolds? Kobolds?
Kobolds?
Like in
do you
D&D?
give?
Yeah, like the little goblin-y
But you
guys.
say kobolds? Kobolds?
Kobolds?
Cabal?
Interesting. No,
Is the-
I say kobolds.
Emphasis
say
on the
kobolds.
first syllable or the second syllable?
Do it on the second, which I like. I've never heard of
Kobolds.
That's what I've heard most is kobolds.
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 Like cobalt is what I hear a lot.
No. Kobolds. Kobold is more like what he was
No,
saying.
cobalt.
Are we talking about the emphasis or the pronunciation of the vowels?
Emphasis on
Kobold.
bald.
Yeah.
Like
yes.
no hair, bald.
Bald, yes. But then on top they
Wow,
emphasize
this
on the
is
first part.
Great content.
Quite the tangent.
I'm sorry. Anyways,
All right, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to make that work. That's a rough
a rewrite.
super doctrine.
it's tough for a lot of reasons.
It's a rewrite.
I hope
That
they give it
whole
a
book-
rewrite, and I hope it's super cool because there's such a cool chapter.
Yeah, start over. Just
Start
come up with
over.
new ideas.
Honestly, yeah.
We'll find out soon, right?
Yeah. With
With the third Space Marine
You're
Codex
probably
and
not
that
wrong, sadly.
All right. Thank you, D-Un-IT.
Welcome back.
Hey guys, I love your channel. What are your opinions on my Death Guard?
Okay.
What should I get next? I have a Demon Prince, Typhus, Morty, NPC,
Plague Crawler.
Noxious, BP,
Yep.
Noxious Blightbringer.
FBS,
Foul Blight Spawn.
Foul Blight Spawn, PS, 20 Marines,
Surgeon.
2x5 BT,
Black Templars.
White Lord Terminators.
Twilight Terminators, yeah. 2x3
Death Shroud.
Death Shroud Terminators, 50 Poxwalkers, 2 FBD,
Fed Blow Drones.
Flooded Bloat Drones, 2 Plague Burst Crawlers. Cheers from Berlin.
Nice. Thanks so much.
That's a good collection.
It sounds like a good collection.
It is a great collection.
More Terminators, maybe?
2x5.
2x5 is plenty Blight Lords. I might get a third squad of Death Shroud
Yep.
if you really like Death Shroud.
Nurglings.
Nurglings. They can't take them anymore, can they?
You
thought they
lose
got
your
taken out of
contagion.
the-
Yeah.
Yeah, they got taken out of the book.
No.
Well, they were
was a-
never
don't do
in
that.
the army.
But their data sheet was in the book before, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
but they didn't have Death Guard keyword.
But their data sheet was in the book.
Sure.
And they're totally not in the
Notice they
book
took
anymore.
that out because they were like, yeah, that was way too
Yeah,
confusing.
that was.
I'm
We didn't
yeah.
like that.
I would say, honestly, personally, I know it's not the most popular option. I like 3 Plague Burst Crawlers in the current meta, personally.
It is saucy, yeah.
Like 2 is good. 3, like you're gonna take down some Dragoons. You're gonna do work.
Yeah, they're one of the more powerful units in the book.
They're so scary.
Yeah,
I
I guess,
was running DG right now,
I guess
so
the
I'd know.
question is if you want to be like lean towards competitive or like what is another fun unit?
This is true. This is true. Chaos Spawn are amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Total value,
good choice.
25 points, just nasty, fast-moving unit that can throw away, can kill things. I love Chaos Spawn. Can't say enough good
Plays
things.
the game really well.
He's
Yeah.
missing a couple of the support characters. I've always just like not put any effort into learning the names of any of the support characters because I know we have all of them.
They're all
And I'm
silly.
just like, whatever one I need, I pick that.
Tallyman doesn't have Tallyman.
Yeah, and I think he's missing the Fight Last guy.
No, that's the Foul Blight Spawn.
Oh, he does have that.
Yeah,
And he has Noxious,
Lightbringer.
but he doesn't have the Plague Caster?
Yeah, what about Psychic?
You need the Plague Caster.
Oh, Malignant Plague Caster. No, he
Oh,
does.
he
That's
does
the
have
NPC.
No, Nurgle hates Psychic.
So maybe he does have all the...
Morty does in theory.
Mortarian hates Psychic.
But he's a psyker. He's a very self-loathing psyker.
Yeah.
Which, you know, that also kind of makes sense too.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are a couple suggestions. Again, mostly just to like more competitive options, but I think they're also fun. I love Spawn. I think small units of Spawn are competitive. I think big units of Spawn are fun.
Get yourself a drill. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Get a drill,
Termite
put some
drill.
Plague Marines in there. Just pop up. Surprise!
I mean, it is pretty cool.
It's fun.
Yeah, you used it a little while ago, huh? When I was gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the game that I crushed Brian, I brought the
Yeah.
drill, and I used the drill to crush him more.
Physically crush him.
Physically crush him. I killed his fake Primarch with the drill.
Fake Primarch.
Oh yeah, he did the
Oh,
fake
shots
Primarch thing.
fired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anders. What's with the new codices and giving cheap models huge damage output and defensive abilities like invuln stratagems that just invalidate elite units that pay massive points for toughness and regular saves? Codex creep. is a
Seems
thing.
like a direct reference to something. I'm just not sure what it is. Like
Yeah.
I know what he's saying. Like the new thing is, which is Beast Snagger boys, or just boys in general, who now are T5 and have AP and it's 6-up invuln if you're Beast Snagger boys, and they can transhuman. Like I get that, But what are you comparing it to that's old?
I think he's talking about other codices. Like if you not internal balance, but like external balance.
But like what? Like
But what pays points? What elite pays points for toughness?
Death Shroud that are totally fine with this.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you compare like the cost of a Skitarii Vanguard to, other troops in the game.
Well, they're a problem, but
Yeah.
I think Custodes pay the most points out of anybody for their stats.
Yeah.
Custodes overpay for everything on their datasheet, and I'm still okay with Custodes compared to this Orc Codex. I'm fine with it. The Admech Codex makes me sad, and the Drukhari Codex makes me very sad. But like this Orc Codex does not make me feel bad as a Custodes player for the stats on my sheet, because like
yeah, I agree.
Orcs can be T5. We can both be T5. I want another wound. I want another attack.
Yeah.
But like they can be T5. That doesn't bother me.
The boys didn't function the way they should before. They were like not that tough, not killy, and they were just such a problem. And now they like actually do their thing pretty well. I don't see it as a problem at all personally.
No.
Like, yeah, if anything, talk about Drukhari, but not Orcs.
Yeah.
Beast Snaggers had the same number of attacks as they had before. They got 1 extra AP and a 6-up invuln.
In a game where you can't have AP0. AP0 is like, okay, well just don't shoot that gun. That's not working.
Yeah, basically. Well,
Why
especially now.
do you have that?
Yeah. So no, I don't think it's a problem at all personally. There's a couple extremes that we've mentioned, but
Right.
I mean, I don't think it's power creep. I think it's just the way the thing should be. Like these tiny units should at least have some chance of surviving. Like 5 Storm Boys before literally they would die to nothing. Nothing.
Yep.
But at least like maybe I can roll a 6. They're winning it a little tougher. You have a chance to survive. They're still dying to most things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, wait till your army's book comes out if you're like playing Astra Militarum or you're playing Tau or you're
I
playing.
agree. It's like what Bridger was saying.
Yeah.
It feels like there's something that's being compared to, and
Not quite sure what
We
that
just
is.
don't know what it is.
yeah, I have confidence that the books will come out and things are
Yeah.
just going to get better for every army.
Yep.
You know what you can do in the meantime? If you already have a Warhammer army and you're upset, play Kill Team, dude. New Kill Team.
Kill
The rules
team.
look awesome.
Kill team. Can't wait.
Thank you, Alec. Hey, Titans. I'm super excited about the new Codex. I've got a game on Thursday against a friend running World Eaters, but I worry that they can't hang with the new decks. What would you recommend taking to ensure a balanced game?
Good question. Because yeah, they can't really hang.
New
World
okay, so
Eaters.
but we don't know what he's playing. He's playing against World Eaters.
I think
He's playing New York's
Oh,
because
okay.
he decided about the
Yeah.
new book.
Right.
So he wants to bring a balanced orc list against his friends' World Eaters.
I think big units of boys are cool because like Berserkers will still shred them.
Yeah.
They're the kings of strength 5. Like you'll be a bit tougher, but he's still going to shred you. They're still going to shred you. So avoid. Don't run like 9 rocket trucks. And
I think you could have a game pretty similar to the game we had today, where instead of the orc opponent being mega durable, there's just more waves. It's like, okay, because World Eaters can shoot through 30 boys pretty easily.
Yeah.
Where it's like, all right, you send them in, you crush a wave of boys, and you trade back and forth in the middle. And you kind of have a similar game, but instead of me standing resolute in the middle, I lose guys, you lose guys. I lose guys, you lose guys, and we just keep battling over the middle.
Yep. I feel like, as a Tau player, I think I enjoy my games when I get to do my thing, like when my models get to do the thing that they're supposed to do. And so in the case of World Eaters, like they want to fight. And so if you're playing Orcs and you bring a fighty army and you fight with the World Eaters, your opponent's going to be happy. He's going to be like, cool, my dudes got to do their thing. Awesome.
yeah,
That's what's gonna matter.
Yep.
Regardless of who wins.
I totally agree. So don't take the Evil Sun's relic that makes you fight last.
Yeah,
Don't do that.
and don't bring like shooty orcs. I
Yeah.
don't even know if shooty orcs are good, but like don't bring shooty orcs.
Against World Leaders, they definitely
It would be, yeah.
It'd be good.
they'd be good enough.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Dungeon Master.
Hey.
What's up, Titans? Loving the dichotomy of this matchup. Horde versus Super Elite.
Yeah.
Also love the shirts tonight. Bridger's army is only just bigger than a D&D party after all.
It's basically a D&D party. That's amazing.
We need to give a class to each model on the table.
Yeah.
Like, who's the bard?
The
Oh,
bard.
definitely Trajan. Trajan's just
Trajan.
there to give people, like,
Just supporting them.
Yeah.
He's just singing at them and giving
go
them buffs.
get them, guys.
That's great.
Trajan the musical.
Yeah. I love
Yeah, it's great. I'm so happy. I'm like over the moon about how this game went, because it's always a little scary when the armies are so different, and it works out so well.
it. Yep. Thank you, Jacob. Sagittarium, more like Sagittarium. A squig.
Probably.
A squig, probably.
This is very true.
Yep.
We didn't get to eat any Sagittarium. He was played smart.
Wait, can squigs eat models?
Yeah.
There's like a rule for that?
No.
It's not.
They have a bite attack.
Okay.
They can deal 3 mortal wounds, which just insta kills.
Oh, that's
I have
true.
3 wounds on Sagittarium.
Yeah, I gotcha. I thought there was
Well.
when he said that. I thought there was a rule for like the Gargants where
Like
you
a
can like
pickup,
put a
yeah.
model in a bag. But
Yeah.
the squig just like eats the model and it just.
No, it's just that mortal wound
Instantly
bite,
kills it.
which is pretty amazing because it just has a chance to just go through anything.
Yeah,
It's cool.
I like it. Thank you, Patrick. Love the show, guys. I play Custodes and I have a hard time against Space Wolves. Should I ditch bikes and get more infantry, or ditch using a bike captain? What do you think?
I mean, just in general, probably ditch bikes, but not the bike captain. Take 1 bike captain. 2, if you're feeling saucy, if you like bikes. When I really want to bring bikes, I will bring 2 bike captains. But the bikes themselves are simply outclassed in a stat. Like, my point about Custodes paying too much for their stats is to the max on the bikes.
Oh my God,
You
the
pay
bikes.
like 100 points for a guy that gets 4 attacks. And that's his primary role in the
4
game.
wounds.
Yeah. So, yeah, drop the bikes. But the reason Space Wolves are beating you, very likely, is they're using a lot of fight last.
Yeah.
So you need to survive the brunt of their attack. They're always going to fight first. So you need to survive and hit back. I would suggest Gladys Dreadnoughts. Like,
Right.
they'll
You just don't
survive.
care. Yeah.
And if they're stacking a bunch of rerolls, I know they can get reroll hit and wound. Emperor's Auspice. Boop, turn it off.
Or what about shooting? Venatari seemed like a good answer to
Yeah, that's true.
2 in Space Wolves.
And they're fast, so you can stay
fast.
away.
Venatari solve all problems.
Yeah.
So if you want to win games, give Venatari.
Which is a Forge-rolled unit, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
They're
It's
expensive.
It's unfortunate.
they are.
There was a comment in chat during the game earlier
Yeah.
about how like the Custodes meta just seems to be like, which super expensive Forge-rolled unit do I have to like invest in now to have a chance?
Well,
It feels like it's Venatari right
it's
now.
weird because people get sticker shock. So Custodes Plastic is the cheapest army in the entire game.
Right.
And people get sticker shock when they look at the Forge World prices. They're like, whoa, that's more than plastic kits, which it is. But then when you look at like the dollars it would take for you to build even a fully Forge World Custodes army, it's like almost the same as a plastic full Space Marine army.
You have to
know, like-
remember that, yeah, that's an expensive in dollars unit, but that unit is like, what, 400 points? 350?
It's a lot of points.
Yeah, Telmon's like 350.
Yeah.
And it's
No.
280. 280. Yeah, it's 280. And the 5 Sagittarium are 285. They're more.
Okay.
35. Yeah. It's a lot of points. And the infantry, Dreadnoughts to a lesser extent, but especially the infantry are the most affordable of Forge World stuff. When it gets really expensive is when you start getting like bunch of big tanks or super big tanks. That's when you're getting up into the hundreds of dollars of
Don't
whatever.
get the big derpy transport. Brian has 2 of the big derpy
Ares?
transport. I'm sorry?
The Ares?
No. There's
The
the beached whale.
Even
I
bigger
never
than
learned
that.
its name because I
Yeah.
just called it the beached whale.
it's
The Ares is the gunship.
no, he's talking about the transport. It's like this
Yeah.
big. It floats on the ground and does nothing.
It's T8.
And he
has a
beat me
lot of
with it
wounds.
when a game like everything was going horribly, and he was just like kicking my butt. And it had nothing to do with the transport. He's like,
Yeah.
see, this thing's not so bad. And he's just like, no, I just don't have time to kill it because I gotta kill all this other stuff.
It's like 22 wounds T8 and 400 points.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah. You know what's also maybe somewhat interesting against Space Wolves is Alaris with Vexilla, because most of the fight last, other than the Belt of Rust, come from things like spells. So if you're not on the board, you can't be fought last. So you can drop down, you can also snipe out, you can do damage. You probably won't kill the character, but you can do a lot of
it's
damage.
not an aura. They're casting a spell on an enemy unit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But if you don't exist on the table, it can't be fought last.
And if you use the Alaris, you can snipe out the Belt of Frost.
Yep. So
I'm
just
into it.
another option.
Try some Alaris.
Yeah.
Thank you, Skyblade Phoenix. Hey, Titans. Love y'all making a Death Guard list. What do you think? Oh, man.
I love the formatting though.
This is good
this
formatting.
is better formatting, but lots of
Do you think that uses a
acronyms.
character every time? Well, I guess if you use a space, that's also a character.
So is that Wretched Plaguecaster, right? DP with retinue plus
That's the plate. It's the separating plate.
Yeah,
Demon Prince.
and rotten. Yeah.
Demon Prince with
Wrong Constitution.
Wrong Constitution.
Lord of Change. Lord of Change.
Contagion.
Lord of Contagion.
With Arch
Contaminator.
Contaminator.
NPC.
The caster.
Yeah. Plague Caster with Demon's Favorite.
Dem's favorite.
Dem's Favorite. Yeah. The favorite Plague
I
Caster.
don't know.
2x5 Plague Marines with Flail.
Uh-huh.
1x20 and 2x10 Poxwalkers.
Nice.
1x5 Blightlord Terminators with Flail.
Nice.
2x3 Death Shroud Terminators. Phoebe with
Watch out for Phoebe.
Phoebe with Viz Death.
Viscous Death.
What is Phoebe?
This is the Flamer.
Okay.
Foul
Blight Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Viscous Death.
Foul,
Those are L's. I don't know why.
Foul Blight
Anyways,
Spawn.
that's a whole other conversation.
Plague Sergeant. Plague Sergeant
With
with
Fugar's helm.
with a helmet. Tallyman and 2 Plague Burst Crawlers.
Cool. So I like it. I like it a lot. I don't like the Plague Surgeon in general. It's nothing against you. We just haven't. We've tried so many times to make him work.
It's not you. It's the Plague Surge.
Yeah, it's not. It's not you. So I would drop him for something else.
You are exactly one too many support characters. Yeah, drop him.
Drop him.
And then you're good. And then
Gives you like 80 points. More Poxwalkers.
Or Poxwalkers.
10 more. Yeah. I would go 20, 20, 10.
20, 20, 10. Yeah, I agree. I'm around to that.
Is this similar? I feel like this is similar to the other Death Guard list we were looking at.
Yeah.
That one just had another unit of Blight Lords, I think.
Yeah, this is a great core.
It's a good start. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Mix
it's
and match a little bit.
Nice.
It's great.
It has tools. It has solutions for things.
Yeah.
Yeah, very
All
cool.
right. Thanks, Daminit. Retry of AdMech list. So this was the very first super chat that we did.
Thanks.
It
Dan.
was a lot, and we did a terrible job, I think, of parsing it. So let's see if this is any better. This time with more letters. So it's AdMech, and it's Mars. Here are the HQs. A Marshal with
Archived engagements.
Okay, yeah. A Manipulus. And there's some war gear there. Logi, Emo Clarity, and Omnimask. And another Manipulus with RD, Super Rad, with Temporco, and
Tempercopia?
Tempercopia, which is a Fight Last Relic, and Artisans, which is one of the orders.
got it. And for troops, 2x10 Vanguard, 3x10 Rangers, and in the fast attack slot, Cerberus Raiders, 3x5 Cerberus Raiders.
Yes.
And continuing on, 3x10 Hoplites in the elite section,
30 hoplites.
2x10 Corporal Priests.
Corpus Sky Priest.
Corpus Guard Priests. And then in the transport section, 5 Dune Raiders.
Dune Riders.
And the Dune Raiders hold both the Tech Priest HQs and all the elites. It was very funny watching y'all's first try reading this. Hope this is easier.
It is much easier.
Much
thank
easier.
you.
Thanks, Daminit, for the extra help.
So 5 transports is a lot. That's like 500 points that you're spending on transports right there. And while I love it with the MSU style troops. That's just a style that I like. It clashes with AdMech's general philosophy, which is command phase buffs. When you're in a transport, you can't get buffs, and so generally, I think you could use a few transports to kind of position for a later turn, get extra movement from things like priests, especially if you don't really have buffs that go on priests, which it mostly looks like. I think so. Omnicide Mask. We'll come back to Omnicide Mask, but so I would cut down those transports, and the hoplites we did talk about that they're cool, but they're not very good. Yeah. But yeah, Omnicide Mask is you give it to a unit and they have exploding 6s. So exploding 6s on the Manipulus doesn't feel good.
He wants to get in the crump.
I don't think you grant it to someone. An emotional clarity. What is it? Emotional clarity?
Emotional clarity.
I like your point about command phase buffs and units and transports. You know, that's like an interesting thing. Like units and transports are powerful in 9th because you have to multiple activations to get through them, to get them off an objective. But you know, they're sort of balanced by the fact that command phase buffs are becoming a big deal.
Exactly.
As the new books are coming out.
Right.
And it's like a sort of a check and a balance.
Do you think
I
they'll
think it's
make
great.
a command vehicle where you can put HQs in it and they get to do their command space stuff
that'd
out
be
of
cool.
the vehicle?
That exists in the Imperial Guard.
Well, there you go.
You can
I'll
issue
bet.
orders from inside your. I guess this is not a command phase buff, but
I'll bet they'll write that rule.
I bet that's pretty cool.
That's gotta happen. Make it happen, James.
I feel like that's my
I like
biggest
it.
beef with Land Raiders is you want to buff the guys inside it, but you put like 8 Vanguard vets in a Land Raider and they jump out and then they have no buffs because
Exactly.
If they're all having a powwow in the back of the Land Raider, like if a unit and the character are both in the same transport, they should be able to do
they
everything.
should. You're right.
They just get amped. They're having a jam session in the back of the
Yeah.
Land Raider.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. And they all just run out of the Land Raider
Yeah.
and die instantly.
yeah.
If only.
And die when the Land Raider explodes before they leave.
All right, thanks, Martin. If Bridger wins, then I contend that actually Adrian lost by wasting a whole squad of boys on that reroll. Why is it so hard to troll Bridger?
You would have won the game if you didn't.
I literally would have won the game if I hadn't done that.
It was a 4-inch charge. You
It's
rolled
gonna
a
keep
4
me on-
and re-rolled it into a 3.
Yeah. Look, Bridger, you assured me it was a safe move.
You
Like,
know,
yeah, I think that's a good. That's the
never
play.
trust your opponent, Adrian.
That's right.
Never trust.
I feel like
Know
there's a-
thyself too.
Yeah, like you have to
4
be like
inches.
winking at the camera, and like that's the meme, like Bridger winking at the
Yeah.
camera, being like, "Yeah, we should re-roll
You
that."
should re-roll that into a fail. Oh my god.
Oh, it was funny.
That was
Great
such a
game
big
though,
deal.
honestly.
Yeah,
It
was
just
good.
comes down to those couple decisions. That's what it is, That's Warhammer.
Yeah, it's Warhams. Thank you, Magnus. What up,
Magnus?
Kings? Missed the majority of this week's streams due to work and having mine and the wife's birthdays this weekend.
Ooh,
happy birthdays.
What do you dudes think of the Death Guard leadership secondary against Orks? Seems like they fail more than before.
Oh, that's cool. I think that's actually really interesting.
Finally, we'll get to use it because that secondary was like kind of on the table, and then a bunch of books came out that are basically immune
Ignore
to
it.
leadership.
Yeah. He's really good against Orcs.
Be good.
That's
What
really good.
can you remind me what is the Death Guard leadership secondary?
You get like a victory point for each model that runs after taking damage from plague weapons.
It's you
Oh,
get 3
wow.
points. It's just 3.
Oh,
I don't think
3
it's per model.
each
It's just
unit?
you just get 3.
If
In-
at least one unit.
Yeah, if at least one unit fled
That's what it is. You're right. You're right.
or had a model flee, and then they have Terminators have a strat where if they fight something, they give it -4 leadership.
Oh wow.
So you'll just guaranteed fail.
Right.
Pretty cool.
Okay.
It's really cool.
Yeah, seems good.
Yeah, that's really good.
Thank you, Tony. It is my headcanon that when an orc hits and wounds explode into multiples, it's like the bullets in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, but they're
But they're swigs. It's so true.
Yeah.
Look, you're not wrong.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like exploding into more shots, like the number of wounds more being higher than the number of shots in this game.
Yeah.
That was like a real thing. Like
Yeah.
you did that multiple times this game, Bridger.
Yeah.
Both of us
exactly.
did.
Yeah,
Every time you
exactly.
fought, you had
Gas, too,
like
the exploding and
Gaz was
melee.
doing it. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
They should have the DACA back in the day, the old DACA should have always just been auto hits or extra exploding hits. The problem
Yeah.
with it was like an extra, you get to shoot
Yeah.
again. Oh boy, I get to see if I roll a 6 again. Like this is a waste of time.
Yeah, yeah, it was the right
You
choice
know?
to just make it hits, in the interest of speeding up the game.
Yes. Would it have been so
Uh,
crazy?
It's funny that people were commenting about this in chat during the game as well. That like wow, like during that turn 2 phase when you charge with everything, when your
Yeah,
whole
that
army
was spooky.
charged,
Yeah.
like, and we spent an hour on the fight phase.
Yeah.
Is like, hey guys, this is the like simplified 9th ed. That's like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
8th ed, 9th ed.
I
That's
know.
like, all right, cool. This is like the simple version of the game.
Right.
Can you imagine what this fight phase would look like? And there was just 1,000 interactions between pluses and minuses
And these are 2
Damage
relatively
reductions.
simple factions.
yeah.
Played by people who play a lot of Warhammer.
That's right.
With that, like over 1,000 people helping.
That's right. Right. This game is very complicated. Yeah, make exploding 6s just hits. We don't need to re-roll those shots.
Yeah. Exactly.
Thank you, Mike. I'm so late. Gonna try and catch up. Please save for the good talk. Are Gaz and Du Bois all right?
Yes, they might be Beastnaga boys, but I think it's cool. And Gaz is dope.
Yeah, Gaz
We
is
chopped Gaz's
amazing.
head off,
You did.
I mean, but
and we kept the body, and you'll take the head.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
he's
I'll put the body on the wall,
What are you gonna do on
and
the
you
body?
can put Gaz's head on a Beastnaga boy.
Beastnaga boy.
Gaz has had his head chopped off before. It doesn't
Yeah,
kill him.
we
It
can
doesn't
fix
bother
it.
him too much. He's just
Oh.
like, it's fine.
Which, by the way, they fixed Mad Dog Grotznick.
Yeah?
So he is a Death Skull. but he traditionally travels with Gaz. He's the one that reattached Gaz's head, and so you can now run. He's like a free agent basically. So you can have him in any Orc detachment.
Nice.
He just doesn't get Death Skulls unless you're all Death Skulls. I was like, yes,
That's great.
that's cool.
Yeah. I feel like, let's see. So I'm so late. There were a couple people that commented on this in chat during the game as well. We apologize. We had the start time wrong in the.
The same start time it's
stream.
always been, guys.
It doesn't change.
If you ever something weird, it's probably wrong.
if you see a wrong, a non-normal start time, it's almost
We probably screwed up.
99% of the time it's wrong. It's just a mistake, and we'll fix it, but maybe not before you see it.
Not right away. Sadly, I was driving when you messaged me, and not that I would ever do something on my phone when I was driving, but there's this terrible YouTube Studio app where you can like see some of the
so
stuff, but
bad.
you can't do anything. I can't even see our live stream until it's already aired from the Studio
It's
app.
one of the worst apps I've ever seen.
So I was like, I'll just try to fix this, and then it's like, of course, it's not there.
Can't do
Stupid.
it.
We have an
Anyway,
impressive
apologize.
track record though. In terms of like number of shows missed or delayed,
Yeah.
it's like well under 1%.
Oh, actually, Mr. Delayed?
like
yeah.
well under 1% shows missed or delayed.
Super, super rare.
Yeah. So chances are we're not missing or delaying the show. We're just we just got the start time wrong and
Yeah.
we posted it. It's not a big deal.
Apologies for confusion.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Trayland. Oh, I can't see it.
We'll get there. Thank you, Traylon.
Thinking.
You gotta click the mouse.
I know. I'm putting the finishing touches on Bridger's Ogre. Baja Belly.
Yeah.
Be ready to blast the Broken Realm soon.
Yeah.
I love it.
So I
Yeah.
got I have a lot of man-eaters, like a lot of man-eaters. I bought way too many man-eaters.
Yeah, a
This
lot.
was why I didn't want to buy them at full price, and I just ended up doing it.
Yeah.
But like I bought a lot of
There's a
them.
lot.
But I'm gonna have an army of man-eaters, guys, and it's gonna be awesome. But like I
better
have,
be
to,
awesome.
I have to build them, and they're resin, and
So bad.
they're resin. Did I mention they're resin? And I have to build them.
You're saying there are actually a lot of parts, which I
Is
didn't
this
realize.
Trident or is
So
this
many
your Ogres?
Fiddly bits. Yeah, it's ogres.
Ogres, yeah.
So man-eaters are like mercenary ogres that go and live in other kingdoms, and they're like develop or they become a part of that culture. So
Yeah.
like
Cool.
So there's like samurai Ogres.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ninja.
there's a ninja
Ninja,
ogre and a
pirate
pirate ogre
Yeah.
and like a Mongolian ogre and a
Yeah.
bearded lady ogre, and there's like a fancy ogre who didn't have a cap to put a feather in, so he just stuck a feather through his forehead.
It's so good.
They're
love
awesome.
it.
I'm so excited to play ogres. But I have to like the building is non-trivial,
Yeah.
and then we have to paint them.
Interesting.
Yeah, wash them really well before you glue them. Otherwise, the glue doesn't stick.
That would
Wash 'em. Well, no, because they're not Forge World.
Oh, okay.
They're
Oh, they're
fine
fine
cast.
cast.
Yeah,
Got
so there's no like mold release on
Mold
them
release,
at least.
got it.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, ElfSync. Adrian, how are those custom noise marines coming? I'm currently painting up some Emperor's Children Raptors in the pre-heresy purple and gold to match Fabius Bile.
That's a great color scheme. I love it. They're kind of like they're with that project that keeps getting pushed as like other stuff is like immediately on fire and in front of me. Because I really genuinely I want to finish them. I want to play them. I have a bunch of those noise marines, the third Terminators. I'm really excited to play my Emperor's Children, but they just keep.
But Orcs came out.
But everything is
Well,
on
it's
fire
Orks,
right now.
And then there was
Admech.
Admech before that, and
Yeah.
there was something else before that, and
Are you excited to go to all these events, Adrian?
the events. Like, look, I'll be ready for the new book whenever that happens.
Yeah, the best thing that can happen for Adrian's Emperor's Children
Yeah.
is for this Chaos Space Marines book to come out.
That'll push it to the front. And,
As soon as that-
now we're like, Grey Knights with 1,000 Suns could drop any day. And so Zach and I are like, we gotta actually do the 1,000 Suns
I
now.
saw like Frontline posted a picture of the box on their Facebook, and I was like, no, they didn't announce it, did they? Is it coming?
Well, no
Oh
tomorrow.
no. Uh-oh.
I'm so nervous because you're also going to be traveling. So
Yeah, I won't be here.
and John's traveling. So
Uh-oh. He was supposed to be our 1,000 Suns. Or sorry,
the
our
Grey
Grey Knight
Knights.
guy.
That's my biggest fear. If it's great, if it's
Oh, no.
So it's two things, right? If it's Grey Knights next week, we're in trouble because I'm gonna have to learn Grey Knights quickly and like then not play them.
Good luck, dude.
Or it's gonna be 1,000 Suns, which the ones that I am gonna learn.
Oh, because Zach's going to play Thousand Suns?
No, I'm gonna play 1,000 Suns.
Okay.
Everyone keeps talking about Zach playing. Zach doesn't play on stream really.
But Adrian, the Wizzy War between
The
Zach
Wizzy War
and
is
John.
gonna be good. It's cool. It's fine. But like, we also have a 1,000 Suns army we bought way back in the day, and
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, but that has to be built and painted. So it's like we have models and we have like the person that's going to play the army, and we can't have
And
both.
both of those responsibilities will fall on you. And
Yeah,
then-
whatever it is, it's going to be one heck of a week. So, or if we're really lucky, it won't be next week, and we'll have some more time.
Please, James, give us one more week. Please.
Please.
We beg of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Find out tomorrow at like 10 or 11. They usually post.
Tune in. Yeah, Bridger's gonna find out while he's asleep.
Well, it's not his problem.
All right, thank you, M1. What do you think of flayed ones as 5-man squads to do secondaries? They can deep strike and do actions and have a -1 to hit strat, all for 65 points.
That's cool, actually.
Yep,
I didn't know they were that cheap.
all that sounds good.
I like it.
And then M1 asks another question. Thank you, M1. Could scouts be useful like commandos since they can infiltrate, outflank, and just cost 70 points? Are elite slots better spent elsewhere?
It's a good question. Normally, like before, we said absolutely not, no. But we keep talking about how important the infiltrate game is. So like a squad or so, maybe.
I think
Maybe.
like they compete with infiltrators, you know, and then like
Oh yeah.
Phobos stuff.
Never mind. I forgot the infiltrators
So
exist.
Scouts have 1 wound.
yeah,
Yeah.
they do, and they're elites, and they're not OBSEC, and they like. There's a lot of things that
They did Scouts dirty.
No, you're right.
there's a lot of things that are bad about scouts. If you want to see that in action, John and I played a game.
Oh my god.
The Maelstrom game we played at the end of
Yeah.
the
That was so good.
Mega Stream was a lot of scouts, and they 1 wound is like it's a big deal.
So bad.
Why does GOB hate Scouts?
Because they were so furious when they went to, and this is like not, I'm only like half, I'm less than half joking. Going to LVO during the Space Marine Apocalypse and being like, look, everyone plays like 6 units of Scouts because they're the cheapest OBSEC and you can fill out this battalion or whatever. And they're just like, this is not, you know,
We're so disappointed.
this is not what the Emperor intended.
We're not mad. We're just
Yeah.
disappointed, and we're taking away all of your Warhammer.
Yeah.
Just like the year before when they came, where they're like, wait, you guys like Castellans? Everyone's playing them. We're like, yes, everyone likes Castellans because they're too good. And they're like, what?
That was Unari Apocalypse too.
You know, our Apocalypse, yeah.
That was
Good stuff.
dark days.
Yeah, the scout the Primaris options for infiltrators are kind of just better than scouts.
No, you're right.
All right, thank you, Spartan. Hey guys, great game. Love to see the Custodes matchup so well. What changes would you all suggest for in the next Custodes Codex, and any to avoid to make sure they remain fun but not oppressive?
Yeah, they're one of those elite armies that could easily be underpowered or overpowered, depending on,
Yeah.
right? They're really hard to kind of hit the nail on the head.
Like knights in some ways.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, any kind of elite. So they're gonna have to manage like their scoring power, the way that they might choose to fix
Yeah.
how they score, or
Counting
how
a some
killy they
number.
are is a big question,
Yeah.
right? Number of attacks will be important. Because if they don't,
Yeah.
like how many attacks do they have right now?
3.
3?
So literally less than Primaris on the charge.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
So I
Sad
think
face
those are some of the
Bridger.
big things that they'll just have to balance the number as well.
I feel like
You know?
number of attacks is less important than what you're like how they score and then durability. Like if like they're already moving away from 3-up invulns as like an army-wide thing. Custodes are
yeah,
sort
that's
of
true.
unique in that regard, and so if they take away the 3-up invuln, like Custodes just feel bad, or if they
Yeah.
Why would they do
like right exactly, or if they like over correct on the durability. And just Custodes are now like literally unkillable.
Yes.
You can't. Right, exactly. Like Custodes players get really
Yes.
excited all
They're
this.
always
Let's do
immune to
that.
all rend.
If you took away my weapons entirely and said my models aren't allowed to die,
Yeah.
it's a good. It's an okay
Right. They
trade-off.
give them like a
I'll allow it.
they just give them
Yeah.
like a 3-up invuln and a 3-up feel no pain and
Yeah.
4 wounds a model and
Yeah.
right,
love it.
like a 1-up armor save and yeah.
Now we're talking
No,
about
they'll be like, there's no more invulns. Invulns are completely gone in the army. But you're just immune to AP.
it. You ignore all AP and have a 2-up save.
Yeah. Yeah.
I also think actions. Bridger talked about he can't do actions with his
Can't do
army.
actions.
They need, like, they're elites. They're elite units, like army. They should be able to shoot and do actions, or maybe even fight and do actions. I'm just saying,
I mean,
that would be really cool.
And there's precedent for that. That's
Yeah.
like a thing that exists now in other codexes.
In a lot of codexes.
Yep.
I want to see like it's called like grab from the crowd or something, and you just take a civilian, you're like, do this thing, and then they just go and fight.
They're like in the org place. They're
Yeah.
like, hey, you, Jim Bob, hack this terminal.
Right. Or Tau, like they set up this
Yeah.
drone and they're like, hack this terminal.
Right. It's
why-
flying by. He's like, huh, hey, come here, do this.
No, he like pulls it out of his belt. He's got like a
Oh, he has a drone.
he's got a drone that he pulls out.
I thought he was like on a Tau World.
No.
And he grabs like a random drone.
No.
It's just drones going by.
He like
and
convinces him, he's like, I
grabs
really need you to do this.
Yeah. All right, those are some great ideas. Thank you, M1. Are heavy weapons of heavy intercessors and regular intercessors, both AP2 and damage 2 base, better now with Sisters AdMech ignoring AP 1 and 2 and everyone else having -1 damage?
Wait.
Stalker bolters, AP2, 2 damage. Yeah.
Yeah,
But they're
because of
better?
Devastator
Are they
Doctrine?
better?
Because everyone ignores them?
No. Because normal bolters are entirely ignored.
Yeah, the AP of a normal bolter. You
Wait, are
say
stalker bolters 3 damage? No, they're 2 damage.
They're 2. Remember they used to be 3 of
Wait, so why would you want that if everyone else has -1 damage?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
here's the thing,
Damage
M1.
2 is bad.
All bolters are sad right now, except Sisters Fancy bolters that
Yes.
are
The Storm
2
Bolters?
damage and also deal mortal wounds. But
Okay.
yeah, no, like unless you're against Orks, bolters are just not great.
They're
like
in a tough spot right now.
They're chip damage, which is what they should be, to be honest. Like, I get that they're weapons of mass destruction on a scale that we humans would understand, but like, these are superhumans battling, and
Do you
bolters
remember
are...
when Primaris first came out and they were like, they have AP1 bolters? And, like,
Crazy.
the Stalker bolters first came out. People were like,
Yes.
they have AP2 and
Yeah.
flat 2 damage on a bolt gun. Oh
They
my
just
gosh.
tore through
I
everything.
miss, well, my fist ones would walk around with -3 and flat 3 damage
Yeah.
against
Yeah.
vehicles. Just like my whole army was like, it was like, what, 40 of them, I think? 40 Stalker bolters
Yeah.
doing 3 damage each?
And heavy bolters, when like they announced flat 2 damage heavy bolters,
That was so cool.
People were
like minds
going
were
crazy.
blown.
Yeah.
And now it's just like, I'd rather have a flamer on my Lehman Rust than a heavy
Right,
bolter.
Right, right. Now, I will point out, you say Sisters and AdMech ignore -1 AP 1 and 2. That's not true. AdMech can on one unit,
Yeah.
and Sisters only reduce the AP. So, for example, your bolters, that are, when they're AP2 and tactical, or just flat 2 with these, you're still getting AP 1. And that still matters. And that's still good
yeah.
against power armor.
Yep.
So, and if you're fist, you're going to recover. So you're always doing something. Anyways, those are our thoughts on it. Because I also just realized, despite everything we just said, they should have said better now. But
I mean, I think the game is moving in a direction where everything is more defensible, and so more AP is always good. Yeah, sure.
yeah.
If you're fighting against a lot of 2-up saves, AP1 bolters are not going to really cut it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Oh, I lost my place.
Spartan. We skipped Spartan.
Nope, we got that one.
We did?
We did.
We did. Thank you, Magnus.
Oh.
Do you think Beast Snagaboys are more dependent on which clan you're bringing? Like Beast Snagaboys have more synergy with Snake Bites, but Chudaboys have more synergy with Bad Moons.
So, yes and no. I think they sound like they work better with snake bites, but I don't know if that's true. Well, let me say this. Okay. I think all Orc infantry benefit from snake bites. Even boys, like regular boys, benefit from snake bites just as much as regular snake bites. Just as much as Beast Snagaboys. But the thing is, Beast Snagaboys have access to a transhuman strat that you can do no matter what clan you are.
Yeah.
Now it's 2 command points, but you do have access to it. So I think that's like an association that we have from like the marketing of the new stuff.
Right.
It's not necessarily true. Again, not to say that they're bad. I think that like if you're gonna run boys of any variety, snake bites are really interesting because permanent transhuman on that is awesome. I think they work really well with like you don't really want them for Death Skulls because like
They're already OPSEC.
they're already OPSEC. Who cares? They're good with Goffs, as we said. They're okay with Evil Sons. I love them as Blood Axes. All I can charge.
Yeah.
Oh,
good.
yes. Or getting a 4+ when you're beyond 18 inches and in cover. That's great. So I think there's definitely synergies for sure. More synergy with Snake Bites, but Shooter Boys have more synergy with Bad Moons. So yes, Bad Moon Shooter Boys, as we mentioned earlier, we didn't mention earlier. We mentioned it in earlier streams. The only like clan that can really make the new DACA interesting because they give +6 inch range with those types of guns, And you can get the exploding 6s back, like regular DACA.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when you have a unit of shooter boys that deep strike, their gun goes from 18-inch range to a 24-inch range, which means now your special DACA range is 9 inches, which means now you can deep strike and get those extra shots. That's interesting.
12.
Your DACA range is 12.
What did I say?
You said 9.
You
Which is what it normally
Well,
is.
you deep strike 9 away, and you're within 12,
Right.
so you're getting that extra DACA. So yes.
So to jump plus big unit of shooter boys.
Or teleporta, or
teleporta, yeah.
outflank.
Yeah.
You know, these
Outflank,
are all good.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great tool.
Cool. Thank you, Vincent. Adrian, 2 Squigosaur, 18 Squighog boys with bombs, 6 knobs on Squig, 20 Snagga boys as troops, and a kill rig. Do it.
I love it. So I will with 3 knobs on Squig because there's a rule of 3. But we will do everything else in this for sure. 20 snag.
Squig.
Yeah, that's a lot of building. That still has to happen, but yeah.
Can you take knobs on Squig in a unit?
No, it's a character.
Oh.
The
But
look,
lieutenant's a character, and you can take a unit of lieutenants.
this is true. This is true. I know. We need to get more Squighog boys. It's one of the kits I really want to be released separately. I don't know. I mean,
We need to get more lieutenants.
we would get more boxes if we could, but I just
Yeah.
more Squig boys, more beta. You know,
We need a game of 9 lieutenants.
9 lieutenant. We should do it.
How do you get 9 lieutenants?
They can be in units of 3.
When
Oh
you,
my gosh.
Well, you
They
buy
split
them
off.
in chunks of 3. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They split off into their own units.
Yeah.
But there's also a 1 per detachment limit.
So 3 detachments.
So 3 detachments, 3
3 patrols.
units of 3
Yep.
lieutenants.
This
There we
sounds
go.
amazing.
I feel like this is a great,
Oh my
great
God.
choice.
Which one of our factions do we have the most lieutenants for? Maybe
think-
Fist, actually.
And then it can be like no captains. It can be just like, it can just be like the round table. Like I
Yeah.
guess maybe the round table is a bad analogy, but like a cadre of equals. Like
Yeah,
everyone's
yeah.
just sort of
Yeah.
on the same playing field.
I love it. 9.
9
We
lieutenants.
should get a blister pack of every lieutenant they've ever made. And then that's at least 9.
And then, like, what? Play them?
Well, yeah.
And then
No, put them on
I feel
our
like
shelf.
I'm not picking up what you're putting down, Bigger.
Thank you, Daminit. Letting you guys know now, I sent no other box. The post office box is a mystery.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
what?
Also, man, I can't wait to see y'all play some Epic. Love those Tau.
Thank you.
Yeah.
what
we
is
now
the-
have 2 Epic armies. Just gotta paint them.
Yeah. Is this like, can we play a game with this much?
Yeah. It's you don't need a lot of models.
Well, that
It's,
Gargant's probably like half an
Yeah.
army, right?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Ogre Barbarian, formerly Shame Bloke, but who knows how to pronounce that?
Schmebulok.
Schmebulok.
You always got it.
Used to love me some Red Roller Bone Breaker.
Yes.
But looking at a base battle wagon with Rolla, now loaded with either boys for my Speedwog. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. They toned down, sadly, the Rollas. Even the red Rolla is no longer plus 6 attacks. It's now plus 3 plus D3 or something.
That's still so good.
It's still good, but it's not an automatic 12 attacks. Anyways, I think this is cool. And transports, like, yeah, I agree. I think this is the way to do it, personally. If you're gonna do it, just put the Rolla on the regular one, get those boys in, and they could also be Beast Snagga boys too, which is cool.
Thank you, Jaxiel. Starting a Primaris successor Dark Angels army, I have the Indominus box to start off. What should I get next? And more importantly, how do I tell my wife?
Okay, so what you say is, okay, the bad news is that I'm what is it? This is a Dark Angels joke in here, but I can't come up with it. Anyways, Plasma Scepters, for sure. So if you can get the Combat Patrol for Dark Angels, it's an amazing box. You get 3 Plasma Scepters, you get a Redemptor, and you get something else that doesn't really matter because you have those first 2 things in the box, and it's great.
It's like intercessors and a lieutenant or
You
something.
get something else that
fine.
you sell on eBay and buy more Plasma Inceptors.
Exactly. So definitely that, and get 2 more Blade Guard really, and a Apothecary.
Okay.
And the name character is actually great.
Yeah,
so
I feel like some characters would do well.
How
yeah,
does he tell his wife?
how that you're playing Dark Angels?
That's the answer. We
Yeah.
did it.
The bad news is I'm playing Dark Angels. The good news is it's for 40K.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
it's not really working out.
I don't know. I feel like you
Maybe just
asked
don't
for
tell
it
her.
for your birthday, and then she's gotta be okay with it, right?
It would be very Dark Angels to never tell her and just keep it a secret forever.
Oh my gosh, that's a genius
It's
move.
pretty good
And then
actually.
you're method acting.
Yeah.
You're in character. It's
Yeah.
not a tabletop board game at this point. It's a role-playing game.
Yeah.
And you have like a hidden like room where you build them, and there's like the key for that, and you're the keeper of the keys. But every time you go to the room, you have to try to be sneaky, and you wear like Dark Angels robes, which
Yeah.
makes it really weird.
Really
Just for her, she's
obvious.
like, what?
Wear a
Like,
hoodie.
why are you wearing that?
Yeah, and like that's just, what did you do in the
Yeah.
bathroom? Because of course you can't add another room, so you just have to use the bathroom, and it's just it's all
I like
bad.
it.
This story
like
does
it.
not end well because in true Dark Angel fashion, she will find out because you're not good at keeping secrets, and then you have to kill her
in
because
this-
you're a Dark
And then
Angel.
in this story, she's the emperor. She's like, some other Primarch.
Yeah. And then you just have mortal combat with a loved one because you're a Dark
Exactly.
Angel.
Yeah. Right.
You know the funny thing is, this literally happened to a friend of mine.
Mortal Kombat with his wife?
Close to it, yes.
Because he's a Dark Angel.
I have a friend who's currently, still a friend and still alive, and still plays Dark Angels. That literally, he started his Dark Angels. None of us knew about it. He just like one day was like, "Oh yeah, I'm so excited for the new Dark Angels release." We're like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." And he was like, "Yeah, because I play Dark Angels." And we're like, "What?" And he had like a massive Dark Angels army he was building in secret, and it was like in his closet, and it was the most Dark Angels thing I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
There was no Mortal Kombat, though.
That came
Well,
later.
that's part of the story that maybe isn't for live.
All right. Thank you, Morker. Coronis Grav
what
Carrier
it is.
worth getting.
That's the beast whale. We
That's
figured it
the-
out.
That's the Custodes
Yeah.
flying
It's
transport.
It's T8. It's got like 20 something wounds. And
So I think the consensus from earlier was that no.
No.
costs a lot of points.
Only if you like the model.
And dollars.
It costs even more dollars than points. Well, no, that's not
No.
true. But it costs
No
a
way.
lot of dollars. One cool thing is all Custodes transports are modeled to scale and have seats on the inside for one seat per model they can transport.
That's cool.
And they have seat belts and everything. Like it's fully modeled inside like a Manta.
I heard it's a beast in Horse Heresy.
Yes, it's because its guns in Horse Heresy are like actual guns, not. It has joke guns in 40K.
Right. Yeah.
They like shoot water,
So weird.
but in Horse Heresy they're real guns.
Thanks,
go.
Martin. Bridger, I learned from a certain former president that if I keep saying it, then it will be true. I have put Tabletop Titans dice on my Christmas list today. No fake news.
Okay.
Well, you and who got the Dark Angels army that's putting on the Christmas list?
Oh, yeah. Let's scroll up and,
You guys could work together on this one, maybe.
yep.
Nah, it's good. It's not scrolling.
The
That's
mouse
fine.
is derping out.
It's not worth it. You're gonna lose all the chats. Thanks, Martin. Appreciate the support.
Jaxiel.
Jaxiel. You should talk to Jaxiel, and you guys can
Yeah.
send in your lists.
Figure that
Martin,
out.
we're doing everything we can. We're trying out here.
Look, I promise you that Bridger will make this happen
Oh, jeez.
to the best of his abilities.
Yeah, there we go.
Which is to say that it will definitely happen
Maybe.
if he can do it.
If possible.
If possible. If I was Brian, I would like force like
it's
right
mostly
now he would say that it's gonna happen.
he
for
would
sure.
say it's going to happen, but the funny thing is it's mostly in Brian's hands now, because Brian has made contact with the new factory,
Yeah.
so it's
A couple. Did we narrow it down yet?
on him. I don't know.
Okay.
I can't imagine he's talked to anybody in the past week. So
He's alive, right? We checked?
I hope.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I told him I bought the ticket for SoCal,
Oh, that's right. We
and
talked
he
last night.
said he should go to SoCal.
And he said, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, good beans. I need to buy my ticket.
He said, smiley face emoji. Thanks. Thanks, M1. New Tabletop Titans tournament when? After Grey Knights, Thousand Suns Codexes drop? With Death Guard, Admax, Sisters, Drukhari, Orks, and Titan Watch. Looks pretty good to me.
It was pretty good.
That'll be fun.
It's definitely coming. I'll tell you that.
We should.
We
When
should.
was the last one? Last one was like around this time last year, right?
It was fall. It was right at the end of the launch, so it may end up being around the same time.
Yeah,
We're
we
definitely
should
getting there.
get together internally and decide on a.
Yeah. You don't want to
rough
do it right
date.
now?
Not live. No, I don't think
Martin
scheduling
can put
live
it on
is-
his calendar.
Yeah, Martin
Martin's
can
already
put
put it
anything
on
he
the
wants.
calendar. Martin, why don't you tell us when the next Tabletop Titans tournament is?
No, yeah.
We'll figure it out because there's
it's almost time.
lot of travel coming up. So we have to schedule around that.
Yep.
We could just play the games at tournaments.
Thanks,
With nobody
Captain
watching.
Atheno. Thanks, Captain Athenos. Hey guys, so I'm going on to an event, on an event vacation, touring some events. Was
cool.
taking Drukhari, but now I want to bring my orcs. Ideas for a list that could go for gold.
I can tell you my list.
Orks or Drukhari? Orks.
Orcs.
Okay.
So I'm looking at mostly Blood Axes, maybe a detachment or so of Death Skulls, Beast Boss and Squigosaur, Mega Knob Truck Boys and Truck, Mega Boss Truck Boy and Truck, same truck probably, 3 Squig Buggies, 3 Kill Tanks, 2 or 3 Commandos, 2 or 3 Storm Boys, Weird Boy, a couple units of Grots. I think that's it. That's about 2K. And I think it's really, really mean. The Kill Tanks
Are gross.
they're so gross. I started kit bashing mine last night.
Yeah.
Because we're like obsessed with Stonehorns right now, and so I'm making mine with Stonehorn, and as this like the squig that pulls it,
Oh, that's cool.
it's pretty sweet. So I'm trying to get that together. It's gonna take a long time to get 3 of them
Wait,
together.
Stonehorn's the big. Do you mean the Mornfang?
No, the big one.
You look have a.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a big undertaking.
It's gonna be dope.
That's pretty cool.
So that's kind of what I'm thinking. That's just one take on orcs, but I do think it is very, very scary. Because the kill tanks just do everything. They're tough, they have ramshackle, they cast amazing spells that do a lot of damage. They have an auto-hitting las cannon that can do D3 shots if you cast a spell. They can prevent people from running away. They fight with like a million attacks. And they're characters, so you can even like intervene with them. So you can like get your giant base on an objective, and they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna stay next to them." You're like, "Okay," like get into them, and they have a gun that ignores line of sight. They have a lava on them.
They have everything.
They're so good for 190 points.
It's classic
Absolutely.
Orks. They took all the gubbins and they piled it on a truck
Yeah.
and they were like, to war!
And they're transports.
Yeah,
Oh,
they do everything.
they're great, man. They're awesome.
You're gonna have to scroll. Oh, no, I can read it. Thanks, Avelian. Hey Titans, in Craftworld Eldar, would you rather take 2 units of Shining Spears, 3 with an Exarch, or 1 Shining Spear unit and Wind Riders with Shuriken Cannons?
2 units of Shining Spears, 3 with an Exarch?
Yeah, I don't. That last bit kind of baffles me because don't you always have to have an Exarch?
Or 1 unit of Shining Spears, and basically Shining Spears over Wind Riders in pretty much every capacity that you can. Honestly,
Yeah.
Wind Riders are really bad, and Shining Spears are really good. So Shining Spears option. Just don't even look at the Wind Riders. Just take those points, and spend them on Shining Spears.
Oh, I understand. 2 units of Shining Spears, meaning 2 units of 3, or 1 unit of 4, 3 with an Exarch.
2 units 3 or 1 unit of 4. Well, that does not add up point-wise.
That's correct.
One
But
of
it
those
says 3
strictly
with
has
an
more
Exarch.
models.
2 units of Shining Spears. Oh! 2 units of 4, or 1 unit and Wind Riders. That's what he's asking. Those are the 2 options.
2 units.
There are only 2 options.
Yeah.
2 units of 4 or 1 unit with Wind Riders.
Oh, yeah. 2 units for sure. Hands down, 100%. I like squads of 4. I think 3 is just not quite enough. 5 is, I like 3 or 5 is good too. 3 by 3, 4 or 5. Or 2.
Yeah, Shining Spears are great.
Cool deal.
Thanks, Mr. Strothman. Any suggestions on how to run Terminators in a non-Dark Angels list? I'm partial to Thunderhammer Storm Shield, but I've been getting rolled by Gravis.
Interesting. So yeah, there's 2 ways of playing them, right? Is like you double down on that durability. What is the purpose of this unit? What is the goal within your army? Is this going to deep strike and get a +2 to charge from the chaplain? In which case you just want to get in. Even if that's the case, are they trying to be durable, or are they trying to shred stuff? Because Lightning Claw Terminators are still decently durable and have a ton of attacks. So I would strongly kind of take that into consideration. You can do the big mixed squad if you're playing. No.
There is a faction that can do it. Space Wolves can do weird mixed squads.
Yeah. And then can Relic Terminators mix anything? I forget what Relic does now.
Yes, Relic is the
There's no storm shields in that one.
No. Because the two old patterns put together,
Yeah.
and I've forgotten both patterns. So that's
Yeah,
not good.
okay.
Hades? No.
No, it's Tartaros.
Tartaros and Cataphractii, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can take both of those together as relic, but like don't take either.
Yeah, no, it doesn't solve their problem.
The thing with Terminators you have to think of is, do you, like the big decision for me is, am I deep striking them or not? If I am deep striking them, there's a massive commitment of points that needs, or stratagems, that needs to go towards the delivery method. Because if you are relying on this their 200 to 400 point unit making a 9-inch charge to take part in the game at all, that's a bad decision. So like, you either need +2 to charge, or 3d6 take the highest, or something like,
or both.
both. Like, you need some delivery mechanism, or else they're just lost points.
Yeah.
Agree.
So that's my number one.
Shooty
decision.
Terminators and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, shooty Terminators aren't in a good spot, but
They get that, they have storm bolters,
no, I mean you're not
which
wrong.
have that
But, like,
magical AP.
But you don't have to worry about them like failing a 9-inch charge, right?
You don't have to worry
correct.
about anything because they'll just die, like, and not do anything. So, sorry. I just had such a visceral reaction to that.
Oh, that's funny. No, I like it. You're not wrong, Adrian. You're not wrong. Thank you, Maxwell Martin. Sunday for a 1K, I'm taking 2x3 SNS guard.
Soup and sugar.
Sword and shield.
Just not sure. Oh, this must be Custodes. Yeah.
Yep.
1x4 Sagittarium with Miss
Misericordia. Yep.
Misericordia.
The shank.
Bike Captain, 4 by Alaris, or 4 Alaris. Thoughts also is Sagittarium spam with Miss worthwhile
Misericordia, yeah.
when it comes to troops, or should I stick to Sword and Shield?
Great question.
That's something we talked about a lot today, and I'm not sure. So they're actually very similar points. If you have Sword and Shield compared to Sagittarium with the knife,
Yeah.
they're almost the same points. So you're asking yourself, do I want durability or do I want reach? Do I want them to be able to project themselves onto the board beyond their tiny zone of control?
Right.
And I'm learning slowly, although I think it's still risky because they can just get shot and die. But I think Sagittarium having reach means that you're getting to use all of your points. We pay so much for everything. Putting things on backfield objectives and they're out of the game is painful. And so like being able to do something with them, I think is important. That being said, you still need, I think, at least one unit of sword and shield to say guaranteed this unit's not going to die unless you commit a lot. So I hold this for sure. So a mix, I think, but leaning towards Sagittarium these days, I think.
Interesting. So interesting.
That list, 1,000 points. What are the HQs? There's no... Oh, Bike Captain with Misericordia. Okay. So this is a patrol. Yeah, I like it. This does...
I like it.
This kind of, like, you don't have many... 1,000 points is, like, nothing as Custodes. You can spend 1,000 points on 2 units. As
Now there are
Custodes.
2 of them.
Right. But I think you covered all the bases. You got as many units as you could, and made those units as lethal and versatile as you could. I'm into it. I might swap one of the guard squads to be Sagittarium. And that's it. It's the only change I would make. I love it.
Thank you, Trey Dudley. Is Gaz best in a mechanized army with trucks, wagons, buggies, coptas, etc.? I feel compelled to take advantage of both sides of the Great Waa. Also, is a wagon worth it to protect and transport him?
These are great questions. We didn't even use the speed wall this game.
We didn't.
I'm not going to say we forgot about it, but...
What does the speed wad do?
So speed wall is weird because it's a misnomer. It gives you +1 shot with your DACA,
That.
+1 AP, which is the more interesting half, and then the second turn you just get the +1 AP. So
That's
again,
really weird.
It's weird. Look, it takes your rocket trucks to -3. That's tasty. That's a tasty
It's your
meatball.
army wide?
It's
a
army
bubble.
wide. It's army wide. So this is the speed boss. So if you have a speed boss as opposed to a war boss, so like a Death Killer War Trike or something, then you get this kind of Waa. Gaz is the only character that does both Waas simultaneously.
Same time. Yeah.
So in theory, yes, you want to have both, but I think be wary. Now this game we saw the downsides to playing just all boys, all melee. I actually could have really benefited from some shooting, but I don't overly invest in trying to get your money out of the speedwall half of things.
Does that apply if you bring Gaz in a Bad Moon's army with a bunch of shooter boys?
Yes. So Wa is just as long as your warlord is a war boss or a speed boss, they declare the Wa and it affects everyone regardless, which is awesome. And so I think that's the thing to consider. The questions about Gaz and trucks and mechanized, it's so tough. This was my first game with the Gaz in the new book, and I think it's going to take a lot more experimenting, which is exciting to kind of see what the best way to run him is. It's certainly interesting because there are armies out there that can do damage in multiple phases, and many games are going to be slogging. So I think I'm intrigued by a mechanized list, or at the minimum having him in a wagon and just shunting it up the field turn 1, and they'll kill it. But like if
Then Gaz gets out.
yeah.
Unless you roll a 1.
I'm thinking about the 1 now, of course. I know.
You can roll it.
I know. I'm gonna roll the 1.
Can't re-roll it.
I would probably literally pay like 50 points and put 2 mechs in there or something. I don't know. Anyways, I think it's something to try, but we don't know. It's too early.
I think YOLOing Gaz alone in a battle wagon, best idea you've ever had. Please do it.
Thanks, Earth. I don't buy the Primaris comparison. Look at the Pain Boss and Pain Boy versus Apothecaries. I have shelves of grot guns, buggies, tracks, gone forever. I love new models. This release just feels different from old ones.
Interesting. The buggies are amazing. Like, I think there's 3 really good buggies, and then the other 3 are like okay. But they certainly didn't get worse. The grot guns did go down. Like we also have 18 grot guns, and now we can only use 9. The mech guns. The old grot guns were already gone, so like that's part of like the updates.
The super chat's so confusing to me.
Earth is confused. Earth is upset about the new
This
boys,
is continuing from earlier.
continuation from earlier. New boys coming out, sort of invalidating old boys.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's confusing to me because these are just more things that support my perspective that this is exactly like Primaris. And his example of Apothecaries is like, yeah, well, Primaris Apothecary is like 5 points more and just better. Just better. Which we're all okay with now. Like we got past, we ripped the Band-Aid off.
Which is kind of the same with the Pain Boss.
Over a long time, we ripped that Band-Aid off.
Yeah.
And now we're okay with it. Primaris are great. Old Marines are okay. They're not as great. That's fine. There are some Old Marines that are just as great. Not all of them are as great. Orks are probably going to go through the same situation where like some old Orks will survive. 4 years from now, I'm sure we will still be playing some old Orks. But I think we will likely 4 years from now mostly be playing new Ork models because they've shown that they want to make a new line of Orks.
Yeah.
So
I think there are like sort of 2 types of hobbyists: people who like to build their models and then just paint them and then just play with them for like ever. And I definitely count myself in that group. And so when new cooler models come out, it's a really like I feel really conflicted. I'm like, man, I just thought I was going to invest in these models and play with them for the rest of my life. And like I would have an army and I'd not have to do this anymore. Not that like it's a chore, it's part of the hobby. I enjoy it, but I also enjoy investing in a thing and having it be durable.
Yep.
And then there are people who, and Zach is the second type of person, who just really love leaning into the like hobbying aspect and sort of it's not about the end product, it's about the journey. And so I'd almost suggest like, if you can, like lean into that paradigm shift a little bit and just think of it as like, yeah, the new models are cool. I'm gonna lean into that. I'm gonna get some new models and I'm gonna continue my hobby journey. Like maybe in 10th ed, the grot guns and buggies and tracks and all those things that are on your shelves will come back around again. Like that's sort of GW's pattern actually, is to make
definitely.
Bad things good again. So maybe that'll happen, but even if it
like
doesn't, like it's about the journey. And I'm sure you're a better painter now than when you painted those models, and then take the opportunity to learn some new techniques and try out some new, painting, learn some new painting techniques.
Yeah. No, I feel you, Earth. I feel
What's this Pain Boy thing?
Yeah, the new one's mostly just a better version in every way. Except for the annoying thing, which I already knew, but he's an HQ, he's not an elite slot, which really sucks. But yeah, he even has like better armor. But then the other thing I noticed, there's a misprint on this page.
Yeah?
Look at there's there's two of the Pain Boy image.
Okay.
There's one in front of the frame, and then there's one behind in the frame. I was like, this grot has 4 eyes.
That's a great misprint.
Oh wow.
It's so good. That's so funny. I was like,
Oops.
that was very
4-eyed
disturbing.
grot.
Their editor missed that.
What are the rules for that? +1 to hit, probably, in shooting?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, with his needle gun.
That's the BS3 grot right there.
PS3, yeah, 4 eyes.
But like, if the apothecary example isn't enough for you, look at chaplains. Like, Primaris bike chaplains are just like bonkers good compared to every other chaplain.
Even walking Primaris chaplains.
Are still just better. Yeah, it's just like
No, I mean, the bike one's just better than the foot one.
well, yeah, but it's we've just come to accept that by now. It took years, but we're okay with it.
Look, I would have hated to have these models come out with bad rules the way that they did with Primaris. I'm glad that they were just like right off the bat, like, you know what, these are great. You should use them. I'm like, okay, fine. Yeah.
I want to have incentive to use like the best looking models on the table. And so
That's a good way to put it.
if like the new models are the best looking models, then I would prefer to have the rules reflect that, like make them good,
Yeah.
so that way I'm incentivized to use them.
I am weirded out by the fact that, like, so we're talking about like new models, new rules, and all that stuff. They're making new boys, guys.
Right.
Even though they're like, we're talking about how the regular boys are mostly worse. So like, this isn't malicious. They're not trying to replace. They don't. I think at least the boys specifically. Maybe overall, Beast Nagas are going to become the new thing, but for the boys, I think it's not malicious. At least I will say.
Maybe they're starting subfactions for orcs, just like they subfaction Space Marines so hard, where it's like you have 1,000 supplements. Maybe they're like, that's a
hope
good
so.
idea. We sold a lot of books and models. Maybe we can subfaction other armies.
I hope so.
And maybe that's why it feels segmented, because that was your original complaint. It was like, it feels like it's 2 books in one. Maybe it is. Maybe
Maybe it is.
it's 2 books before they're ready to go to 2 books.
I feel like every faction is getting at least one sort of super sub-faction.
Yeah.
And maybe Snakebites is it,
Yeah.
right? They did that with Farsight in the Psychic Awakening book. Farsight got like a whole bunch of extra strats and rules, and I feel like, did they do that? I mean, I guess Skitari and Cult Mechanicus kind of have that going on, and
Yeah.
Avak, and
yeah, kind of.
They were separated and they brought them together, and they're like, okay, actually, now they're going to be separated. But when you do want to play them together, it's like a cool thing.
Thank you, Martin. You will be pleased to know that Bridger announced last week the next Tabletop Titans tournament is coming August 31st and is Kill Team to celebrate the new launch.
You know, that one I believe.
I
You
can do
probably
that.
did say that.
Yeah, I'm into that. That'd be.
Well, that was very
can do
fortuitous
that.
of you, Bridger.
We'll definitely be playing. Whenever the new Kill Team comes out, we'll definitely play it for sure. I'm super excited.
All right,
Which is
Martin.
another thing. It's like, yeah, it could be tomorrow. It could
Man,
be in
if-
2 months.
If we said that the
Decision
TTTT
made.
this year was Kill Team and
Team?
not 40K, people
Yeah.
would riot. They'd be
It would be-
so
that would
upset.
be really, really bad marketing on our part.
Well,
Like, there's no reason we need to call it the TTTT, but we do it anyways.
apparently, you already said that, Bridger. So
Yeah,
Now it's
I'm
happening.
it's happening.
Yeah.
Bad at marketing.
Don't. Thank you, Vincent. And this is our last one. Thank you, Vincent. Brett, Craft Worlds players feel it. They're going to play with those models for the rest of their lives. Yeah, I mean,
Not by choice.
Yeah, check your privilege, Brett.
well, it's funny. I think, so Zach and I talked a lot about this because he's just starting a new Craft Worlds army, and the Tau line is also starting to show its age, specifically Kroot, which he and I are both
Yeah.
really into. And so we both sort of like go back and forth, like what needs a new kit more, or the Kroot Carnivore or the Eldar Guardian. And weirdly, like those two kits are like, given their age, they actually sort of hold up reasonably well.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
The like helmetless Guardian is a little weird, but like,
Yeah.
I mean, they're not to the same level as modern Space Marine kits, but they're also not terrible. Anyway, I feel like when the Eldar get their refresh, man, there's going to be the exact same thing going to happen. There are going to be people who are like, I love these 20-year-old models that I'm playing with, and I don't want to like buy any of these new ones, but they're going to like have some rules thing that makes it so that you're incentivized to do so. But then like the other half of the Eldar playing population is just going to be like, thank you.
We've been waiting for
Yeah.
so long.
Yeah.
Thank you, James, for these amazing new models and amazing new rules that make me want to buy the amazing new models. I can't wait to buy them and paint them and play them.
Yeah.
So you're saying Primaris Eldar?
Primaris Eldar, like
Confirmed.
honestly, I feel like it's a way to like give you new models without, invalidating your old ones. You
I
can
think,
still
yeah.
play them, but
Well, I think the primarification is always just been, and this isn't speaking from any, like, nobody's told me this, but I feel like it's just been a way to justify upscaling models
Yeah.
and transitioning to this new style.
larger size.
Whereas like the Eldar models are like so old, they can just be like, yeah, this is a new version of them.
Good.
And there's certain armies that they can just do that.
Yeah.
But it's like Space Marines and Orks that have such a big, and Tower similar, they have a big collection that has been developed at many different time periods. Like the oldest Eldar model is super old, and the newest Eldar model is actually quite recent.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not distributed evenly over time, but it's I don't know. I think it does something for that, and that's part of the reason behind these things. Like otherwise, why even create Primaris? Well, it's because you can't just replace the entire line of Space Marines at once. It literally takes like 10 years. It'll probably take 10 years to completely replace it.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's the last super chat.
We did it,
guys.
We did the thing. All right, we're not muted for the outro. Good. I almost turned my mute on. Well, that was a really fun game, followed by a really fun chat. Thanks so much for being on, Brett.
Yeah.
We had a great game, great day, and we have more stuff coming. If you aren't familiar, next Tuesday we have a members-only game like we always do, where I'm going to be playing against Brett. And right now, if you hop on the vote, it's probably ending soonish.
Tomorrow.
You can vote on what kind of Tau Brett's going to be playing.
Yeah, we don't know what Adrian's playing yet.
It's going to match probably, right?
But we'll pick something that is a good matchup against whoever you guys decide the tower are going to be.
It's going to be really cool.
And it's going to be fun. I'm excited. It's been a minute.
I know. You and I never played on
You and I
stream
never
together.
played on stream.
You played Maelstrom for the big stream.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then of course Wednesday I'm gonna be over on our sister channel Hobby Titans working on Orc Terrain. It's gonna be awesome. And of course if you haven't already heard, because we didn't really talk about it during the Hangout Q&A section, Bridger is gonna be at Charity Hammer next week from Thursday to Sunday. It's a great charity where a bunch of the best or most famous Warhammer players play and raise money for the Child's Play charity. And it's really, really cool. There's going to be a bunch of links for it. We'll start posting up as we get closer, and so definitely check that out. That's everything that's coming up. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Chilling. Yeah, we'll catch you guys next time on the Tabletop. Bye.
Bye.